What if they're just watching the stream and they're like, all right, she's
It's
getting a
time.
little too big for her britches, I think. Yeah, we need to take her down a peg.
Homie literally unmuted just to flex the fact that he has an Alexa. That's crazy.
All right. Well, I guess we'll go ahead and get. Oh, are we? Is everyone prepared?
Yeah, I'm good.
All right.
Yes,
We can get started then. If Blaine, you would like to give a recap from last time, since it seems you might remember it even better than I do.
Shit. Well, to be clear, I didn't rewatch the whole thing. It was worse the last part. But yeah, it ended with us kind of. We'd already killed Peter, but like kind of the remains of that. We end up starting to make our way out. We make a stop by the witch's place. Just kind of like, hey, cool. Good luck, have fun. I think something.
Just out of curiosity, real
Yeah.
quick, Rose, do you know what the witch gave you?
So that's what I was gonna say. I was like, the witch. I was literally about to say the witch did some whack shit. We don't really know what happened.
Nope.
Okay, perfect.
Okay.
Continue.
Yeah. So the witch kind of like we rolled some kind of check, but didn't know anything, and the witch just laughed as we walked away. So
Yep.
presumably a good thing, but like we don't really know. I think at worst, like probably a neutral thing that hopefully doesn't negatively affect us. We end up walking out the fog, end up in some very rich city. I have the map pulled up here. I believe it was Foxhall.
It was
Am I correct on
Foxhall.
that? Okay, we end up in Foxhall. Run around, some things in the sky chasing us. End up being dragon policemen or women, who knows. And they end up being pretty chill. Luckily, we did not break into any places or anything of the sort. And we talked him into bringing us back. We ended up back here. As we come back, bad things are happening. Philip has been taken away. The thing did get returned. The green amulet. We were told, "Hey, don't fuck it up again." Basically by Mr. Sermon Man, whatever his name was, and that's
Justice Kennedy.
Justice Kennedy. And then Robert came out, and that was pretty much the last thing was Robert talking. And from what I remember, because I watched it, Riley got told like, "Hey, you got a year to not fuck up. That's what you got, bud. Otherwise, we're enemies." Which is just rude. He did nothing wrong. Rose got, I forgot Rose's initial. She asked for the special armor, and then also at the end he was like, "Hey, Virgil, do whatever she wants." So that's where she's at. And Eris got 2,000 gold coins, so that's where we're sitting.
As for shield,
Sorry,
Yes.
armor and shield. Sorry.
thank you.
What else can you even wear in terms of armor? Are you medium only?
I think so. That's why I said armor, and then I was like, I already have one that's done. I should get a shield.
Okay.
I'll check real
Alright.
quick. Yeah, without taking a feat, I think I can wear medium, maybe.
Your thing says proficiency in medium armor, so I don't know if
Um,
that's true or not, though.
Then yes,
Okay.
it's either because
That
of the
sounds
class
right.
or because of what Ray is. Because she's a marshal, so she's doing the extra stuff.
Oh, okay. All right.
Just
So yeah,
wait for the
that's
death roll,
where we
bro.
left off. And to be clear, when he went away, basically Rose, after the big emotional conversation between Riley and Robert, Robert was clearly very emotional, wanted to go away, and Rose was bugging him. Hey, Ray needs to get to shield, and he was like, yeah, sure, whatever. Virgil will give whatever he wants. He didn't want to deal with it. So now you guys are left alone in the parlor with the various other members of the Redburn clan who have sort of observed all this in relative silence. And Virgil, the clockwork knight that is Robert Redburn's primary servant and bodyguard. Yeah. Rose, what would you like to do? Virgil looks to you.
Well, Ray, is there anything you particularly want?
Oh, well, I don't really use armor like you do. I don't really have much use for money. She sort of frowns, and then you feel this as well, Rose, and you can go ahead and make a mana control check. This is just for Rose, not for Ray. Okay.
It's
You
our-
feel some somewhat foreign energy between the bond between you and Ray. Um, you feel Ray kind of like straighten and her eyes open wide. She says, "Oh, actually, I just had a very good idea. Virgil, you're the bodyguard for Robert Redburn, right?" Oh, and I guess Rose would be asking, or Ray would be asking Rose to like speak through her for this.
Yeah, 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 yeah. She's speaking through
Um,
my voice. Or
which is
using
kind of
my
funny. So
voice
she
to
like
speak.
she telepathically speaks to you, and then you speak through her mouth to her. That's
Correct.
just funny. um, uh, Virgil answers though. He says, "Correct. That is my purpose." Ray nods and says, "I have a similar job that I like to do. That I'm meant to do. Is there maybe some sort of technique or skills you could impart in terms of guarding someone important to you?" Um, Virgil looks at her up and down for a moment. You see sort of these reddish, glowing eyes beneath the metal of his helm. Um, he says, "I may be able to teach you. This may take some time, though. I'd say at least an hour." Ray looks over at you, Rose, and communicates only telepathically to you, obviously. I think I'd like this. This seems like a good use of this guy here. He's very strong. I think it'd be good for me to learn from him.
I nod and go, well, that's your choice. Go for it.
Ray sort of steps forward, and Virgil at this point will guide her into the garage slash training hall that you guys fought the Clockwork Soldier in. It's up to you guys whether or not you'd like to follow her. Not
I will. Well,
Okay,
I
well,
wanna try.
while they're talking, I would have walked outside.
okay.
The game's paused for me. Is that?
I am paused it.
Yeah, that
It
one,
is
it's not paused for me,
paused.
so that would be a you issue.
Oh, it's already starting. All right. Well, Eris doesn't want to be in that room while I reload.
Okay, that's okay. First up, a familiar figure follows you outside, Riley. Uh, Maynard sits in sort of a seat opposite you. He he clasps his hand together and sort of sits forward, clearly very troubled. He says, "My goodness, Master Riley, I can't say I ever imagined Robert saying those sorts of things. He's always been a very harsh man, and well, harsher on himself, I think, than he deserves. And I think he's transferred some of that onto you. I think you remind him of well his younger self, and but that's no excuse. What he said to you, that was very rude, very just awful things that he said. I'm very sorry. I hope you aren't too discouraged."
Yeah, you. I guess Maynard would see me sitting there, kind of like the kid pose of sitting there with the elbows on your legs and kind of like hand in hands. I don't know how else to explain that, but like like holding your chin up. And I'm kind of just staring at the fire, and I go, well, I mean it wasn't necessarily the nicest thing I guess I've ever heard, but I think for one, he doesn't know me that well, and he did just wake up from what could have been his death, so I suppose I'd be a little grumpy too. But he did give me a chance though, and I wish it could have gone differently, but it's not to say I can't still make the best of this. And he is saying this with a pretty like gloomy face, but is being honest in the words.
Okay. Maynard nods. He says, "Well, that's certainly an optimistic way of looking at it, and I'm sure that you're right. As for my part, of course, I'll be speaking with Redbird about this. He doesn't. I mean, we are in I am only the apprentice in our relationship, but what he said to you, I mean, that was truly some reprehensible things. I'm going to give him as stern a talking to as I can manage, at least. But in the meantime, regardless of whether or not you're going to be welcome in the mansion anymore, and it seems, at least for the moment, you probably won't be. You're always welcome to stop by my workshop. Of course, I'm not sure if I have that much left that I'd be able to teach you, but if you're looking for, honest work and steady work, I'd always be happy to employ you.
Yeah, I do look up and smile. I mean, yeah, having a backpack full of arms definitely can't hurt. And then I do kind of immediately get a pretty serious face. Go, do you mind kind of telling me what he's talking about? His past and all?
You can make a persuasion check with advantage.
Okay. Shit, starting off strong,
Nice.
baby.
Yeah, well, Maynard is not typically very difficult to persuade, but with a 7,
Yeah, that's valid. No, that's valid.
he says, "Oh, well, it's very complicated. He's a complicated man, and he has a complicated history. He's had a whole career, and well, he's had a very successful career, but some of those successes, and he's sort of like he's like basically trying to twist himself into circles to like avoiding actually telling you anything.
Yeah.
He says, well, and suffice to say, he's just worried about that you might make the same mistakes that he made back in the past. Yes, I think that's as good as I can explain it. I don't want to bore you with the details or get into his dirty laundry, so to speak.
I huff and sit back and go. I get it. You don't wanna talk about it, and that's okay. I understand. Well, I mean, that being said, seeing as we don't necessarily want to indulge exactly in the specifics, can you at least tell me what you think he might be expecting of me? Because I do want to stick around with my group here. I mean, they've been pretty welcoming of me being, as young as I am and all, and I kind of fear if I go with them, it might lead to me fighting, but I don't know if maybe I fight the good fight, it would be okay?
Maynard sits back in his seat and he holds his chin in one hand while his arms sort of rest on the armrest. He says, well, like I said, it sounds like he wants to make sure that you don't make the same mistakes that he did. I think he'd be very opposed to any sort of violence. Well, I think his main concern is that you use your skill for, well, things that he wants you to have a good impact on the world, I think. And from his perspective, that impact can only be in a pacifist, non-violent sort of way. However, he gets a glint in his eye. I'll say, let me think about this some more. There might be other options for you. Yes, all this is very sudden, and frankly, with the whole justice situation, I was very concerned about that. I'm not at my best right now. I need a good night's rest, I think. So give me some time to think it over, and I can give you some advice maybe when I have more time to think.
Understandable. And I kind of give a yawn. Frankly, I could definitely use some good rest as well. It was quite a long venture.
Well, yes, I imagine so. He sort of like looks back inside. He says,
Yeah.
I don't know if you'll be welcome to spend the night here or not. I suppose, well, there is an inn in town. He reaches into his pocket. He says, do you happen to have any money? I can lend you and your group some to stay at the inn, perhaps.
I don't think I do. I was like, oh, let me check my inventory thing. Yeah, no, I don't. Yeah, no, so I'm like, no, sadly, we haven't made a whole lot of money in our journeys. I mean, I know Eris just got a lot of money, but I don't know how willing to share she is. She could be pretty strong-willed at times, it seems.
Oh, yes, I suppose she did just come into a small fortune there, but all the same, just to make sure that at least your affairs are settled, he goes over and hands you a number of golden coins.
Let's go.
For retreating, he says. You can put those directly into your inventory, obviously.
Oh, the thing stores money too?
It does. You just have to think about it and hold the coins in your hand.
All right, I'll do the good old, flip it open, put it in there. Thought process.
You find that your some gold has been added to your inventory. He says that should be at least enough for the inn for a couple of nights, and food and things like that as well. I'm not as rich as my master, unfortunately, but like I said, if you're interested in working for me, I'd be willing to pay you a wage for that, obviously, as is only fair.
Of course, thank you. Thank you, Mr. Maynard. Yeah, or Maynard, sorry. But yes, yeah, I'll definitely talk to my team. Like I said, I don't really know what they're wanting to do afterwards, but, yeah. Yeah, I like that. Where's the nearest inn exactly?
Oh, it's in Oakfield, just down the road. Probably about 2 miles or so. It is a bit of a walk.
I'll be alright. I think I've built up some leg muscles by this point, kind of patting my legs down.
He nods. He says, well, all right. You'd best get going then. Well, I suppose you should check on your group. I'm going to retire for the night. Like I said, I'll come to the inn in the morning and meet you there. How about?
Yeah, sounds good. I like that. I will walk by, and put my hand out for a little fist bump as I go by.
Yep, one of his mechanical arms gives you a fist bump.
I get quite giddy as I continue off. All right, Maynard. I'll see you tomorrow.
Sleep well, young master. In the meantime, Virgil begins communicating with Ray. He first determines how quickly she's able to learn things. And he finds that Ray is basically able to mimic his movements after she's seen them only once.
Sheesh.
In addition, she's able to hear him speak as his words sort of mix together as he speaks faster and faster. Like you can imagine like a video on like ×2, ×3 speed. It begins to just turn to a blur for Rose, but through Ray's, she is able to hear all of it as long as it is all spoken clearly. After he's confident that she understands the basics, they begin to practice with him correcting her small movements. And though it was sort of difficult to tell at the start, you do kind of get a feel for what exactly Ray is learning at the end. And after about an hour, you do find that Ray has learned a new set of bodyguard-related skills, represented by a new feature that that has been added to her character sheet.
Hi.
At the end, when Ray is confident that she's mastered these new skills, she gives a bow to Virgil. Virgil says, you must continue practicing in order to hone these skills, but you no longer need my assistance. He looks over at Rose. He says, is there anything else you require, or shall I return to my master?
Rose.
Oh, Rosie Poo.
Well,
Maybe we should
At
go
least it's
to
not
Eris.
Sorry, I was muted. Rose goes, well, I got about every fifth word, but if Ray's good, then we should be all right. And I look to Ray, assumingly she nods.
What are you
Yeah,
doing?
Virgil
Oh,
looks at
nice.
you and says, she is surprisingly proficient for a human.
Well, that would the human part explains a bit, but yeah, you're free to go back then. We have nothing else to ask of you.
Very well. He moves, and yeah, he very much expects you to move out of the way as he disappears into the house, presumably returning to his master's side. Ray's looks over at you with the sort of a bright gleam in her eye as she demonstrates one of the skills that she learned, almost like stabbing you with her weapon, but obviously pulling back at the last moment in kind of like a flourish.
I clap giddily.
In the meantime, Eris, what would you like to do? Like I said, that you would have about an hour if there's something in particular you'd like to do.
Eris goes up to Lola and goes, yo, Lola, can I get one last meal before they kick me out?
Lola looks over at you and says, I have not been instructed to cease serving you.
Hell yeah. Cool.
Please provide your order.
Fantastic. Sirloin steak, medium well done, mashed potatoes, cooked asparagus. You got salmon here?
Lola says, salmon not found.
Damn it. All right, well, I'm good with that. Also, your finest beer, please.
Confirmed, breaking out the reserves.
Ah, wonderful.
Damn, you're getting the good
You
shit.
do see Lola sort of disappear into what appears to be Robert Redburn's room before returning and placing 3 bottles of beer on your table. They're very I'll say one of them is actually like it's what do you call it, like the stopper cap or whatever. It is appear to be what do you call it, like garnished with gold at the top. And obviously the lettering on each bottle is as fancy as you would expect.
Yeah, you're getting that top shelf shit, huh?
Oh,
That's
hell yeah. Can I store 2 of them for like later? Or do I have to drink them all?
Well, I mean, Lola's not going to make you do anything.
it.
Okay, well, I'm more like, is it. I mean, I imagine if they're glass, it's kind of precarious to carry them around with me, but like, we're gonna ignore that.
You're able to store them in your inventory if you so
Oh,
desire.
that's right. Yeah, hell yeah. I'm storing 2 of those bad boys.
Okay. You can add 2 very fancy
Hell yeah.
Eklund beer to your inventory.
I'm gonna drink those at the worst time later on.
In any case, you are provided with your meal, of course, by Lola, and I imagine you savor it knowing it's probably the last very... Well, actually, I guess you have money now to buy your own meals, but it's the last free fancy meal that you'll get in a while. And there's something about it being free, right, that just makes it taste better.
True.
Exactly.
So true.
In the meantime, I suppose, Riley, as you went in after your talk, you did notice that Nora Redburn was no longer there. She would have moved to her room at that point.
Okay.
Vernon and Simeon are still there. Vernon, as you enter, he says, I'd advise collecting your companions. Virgil is, of course, working with one of your partners right now, but once he's done, I expect you will need to leave along with your companions.
Yeah, that's kind of what Maynard was telling me. I figured as much. Nonetheless, it was nice meeting y'all, and I'm glad we could help you. And I will walk over and put my hand out for a handshake.
Vernon looks up at you. He says,
Eyes look up at me, bitch.
he says, well, I suppose we have one thing in common. And he reaches out and takes your hand. He says, my father doesn't approve of either of us.
Damn. Daddy issues,
Aw,
look.
dude. Riley's face drops, but doesn't say anything. And he will just continue walking. Because Simeon helped me, right? Like, go into the room that one time?
Yeah, Simeon was friendlier to you. He observes this silently, though. He's been fairly quiet as he feels that this is not his place to speak. He gives you like a little wave goodbye, basically.
Okay. I will walk off then and wave goodbye back, giving him my best forced smile.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, he looks. Yeah, I mean, he looks, as you might imagine, somewhat similar to Maynard in terms of like, he's sad about the situation as well.
Yeah, figured as much.
But in any case, you guys all gather in the main hall there. Riley would probably have to wait for a bit for Eris and Rose and Ray, but yeah. What would you guys like to do?
All right, team, let's get the hell out of here before these rich people kick us out on the streets.
Yeah, Maynard told me that there's an inn not too far from here.
Yep, works with me.
To the inn. It's nighttime, right?
It is
At the
nighttime.
moment.
Okay. Yeah.
We need to find Philip, bro. That's who we need to find. I need to talk to him.
Break
Philip's
him out
in
of
the
prison.
fucking bottom pit of a dungeon currently.
Philip is currently not available.
Philip Breakout. mission starting now.
Yeah, I mean that's would certainly be a start to your year.
Good start.
Uh,
Good start.
And I guess I guess I can.
Did
see
they
if
say
it-
where they were taking Philip at any point, by the way? Like, did they say if it was just like they were taking him to a jail or if they were taking him to something?
They did not say.
Okay.
All right, here we go. And I'm aware you guys can't see anything.
We can't see. We can't see.
Tell
We
me.
can't see.
We can see.
It
I
has
can't
we
see. anything.
can't say.
I can see. I can
tell.
see.
There you go. Actually, I don't want to deactivate it. I want to global illumination. That's what I want. Okay, now you should be able to see like an appropriate amount. Whoop! I'm
Well,
drawing walls everywhere.
I do see a one circle around everyone, like one space. I should
Oh,
say.
because you guys.
An
It's because you
appropriate
guys.
Yeah, this is exactly what
That
you
is
should see. There you go. Damn, it's dark in here.
I'll
let
look
me
for the
check
light
the
switch.
global illumination.
Wee, wee.
Yeah, just explore piece by piece. That'll be what. Yeah,
Man,
can
I
you
was
guys
so
see
close.
more now? You guys can see more now.
Yes.
Yeah, there you go. You find a fairly like lazy-looking inn. There's no one. It's pretty late at night. You guys have to ring the bell when a very narcissistic innkeeper comes out, very annoyed that you guys woke up him up from his beauty sleep. He looks over at you three and he says, or you four, he says, "You're paying full rate. I don't care if you do happen to only spend half the night."
Damn. All right. Fine. Room
Yeah.
for. Eris looks to Rose. Are you cool if you and Ray share a room?
Yes, I would prefer it that way.
Cool. She looks back at the innkeeper. All right, 3 rooms, please, Mr. Grumpy.
My name is Mr. Narcissistic. Thank you very much.
Wow, that is one hell of a name, buddy.
I am
so
not
sorry.
rude. I am full of myself.
It's different.
He charges you. All right, so 3 rooms. That would be
Better not be over
4.5 gold, I
100.
guess. So 195 and
Ah!
5 silver is your change.
I guess
Are there a
rather
lot of people here or no?
You get the sense. I mean, this place it does like function as like a bar / tavern during the day. But you guys are basically getting there at like 1 a.m. So there's no one here right now. There might be people in other rooms, but you get the sense it's not a terribly busy inn.
Well,
In any case, he gives you keys to each of your rooms. Yeah, I'll say it's just the 3 at the top here, as you guys did not order the master suite.
what?
do they all have 2 beds? Hopefully. Okay, they do.
They do apparently all have 2
Ah.
beds. So Riley can choose which one he wants.
Dude,
Can
I
I
walk
push-
into. Go ahead.
Can I push the 2 beds together?
Yeah, I'll say go and make an athletics check.
Oh god, yeah. Excellent strength, my worst quality. Let's go. Not terrible.
Okay. With 12, you do manage to get the 2 beds together. However, you hear a knocking at your door soon afterwards.
Can Riley hear this? Like the knocking? Is it pretty loud?
Yeah.
I want to put my ear to the wall and listen to see what's going
Okay.
on.
Well, Eris doesn't say anything, it doesn't answer. And she will
Yeah.
pretend like she's asleep on her big bed now.
Yeah. A voice calls. He says, "Hey, did you move the beds in there?"
No, not at all. I'm asleep.
Good one.
Good save, good save, good save.
You just hear like an annoyed groan on the other side of the door. He says, "They better be back in their original positions by the time what would it be called? Cleaning service arrives."
Yeah, whatever.
There are a number of swear words and grumbling as leave.
I do giggle getting to listen to this conversation.
Oh yeah, me and my big bed.
All right. You guys spend the night there, having had a fairly long day. and a bit of time skipped. I believe you went from like afternoon in the dungeon to uh, basically nightfall in the real world or the prime realm.
Did they ever tell us how long we've been gone? By the way, did they ever say that?
Uh, they didn't say that, no.
Okay.
In any case, you guys wake up in the morning without issue, as you don't have assassins after you yet.
Oh, good.
Um,
Of course.
You guys have a couple of free days here, so yeah, you guys can take long rests if you should feel that, and you probably should. I think
I
some of
do
you
need
are
some
low
more
on,
hit dice.
low on spell slots and stuff. But yeah. Just a second before you guys open your doors.
Eris! What I like to imagine last night is after hearing Eris move the beds, I tried but just couldn't do it. The beds were just too big. It just wasn't happening. I considered going and knocking on Eris's door to help push my beds together, but I decided I'd let her sleep.
You should have. We could have been partners in crime.
I know, it could have been so hype. Listen, Riley wants everyone to get their rest.
We call it
yeah.
on one bed because we're minimalistic.
She's got that minimalistic lifestyle.
Okay. Yeah, I think I'm ready. You guys are free to open your doors. You do wake up, like I said, later in the morning, probably like 10 or 11. You know, you guys got to bed quite late.
Is there any kind of, I mean, I assume not because I don't see one, but any kind of shower or something in the room, any kind of bath? I mean, I don't know how this place works water-wise.
Not that you can see.
Okay.
I suppose, yeah, and I'll say, not that you can see.
Okay. I was like, if it's in the room, I don't know if I need to roll an investigation check, but I would have looked around the room for...
No, the room is just the sleeping quarters, like
Okay.
a little chest to put your things in, bookshelves with various, like, fairly standard books, nothing terribly interesting.
The Bible.
Yeah, is there a Bible in here?
There is no Bible.
No Bible.
There
Is
is,
there the Anubis Quran?
there is the Church of Catras Tenets book.
Hats?
Cats. Meow?
That's all I got from that, by the way.
I do walk out and see Maynard and very excitedly run down the stairs.
Yeah, he's nursing like a drink at the table there. He stands up and gives you a wave with his mechanical arm, with a smile on his face as well. He says, "Hello. I hope the inn here treated you well."
Yeah, no, it was cool. Like, I had my whole entire room. It was really cool.
Oh, good. Well, I'm glad the money I gave you didn't go to waste. Eris, you would hear this, by the way.
Damn
I'm
it.
moving over.
I mean, Eris. I don't think Eris would give a shit.
Just want to make it clear.
I'll plop into
The innkeeper, he kind of, he glares over at Eris. But Maynard looks at him and says, "Oh, if we could get a nice breakfast for this young man here, and a little snack for myself." And he picks some somewhat random items off the menu. The innkeeper, still glaring at Eris, accepts the order, going back into the kitchen.
Blair's back. I like to think he's just serving you guys breakfast, and him and Eris are having this continuous stare down.
And he does return with some meals. He looks over at Rose and Ray and says, "Anything that I can get for the two of you?"
Well, is there a shower in this building? And or a bath?
Oh, yeah, I didn't see one in the room.
The innkeeper looks confused for a second.
I figured.
Oh, okay. Rich folk, huh? No, the public cleaning station is down the road. Can't miss it. It's pretty clearly labeled.
Noted.
Maynard looks over at you, Riley, and sort of whispers to you. He says, I guess you're not used to this, but at least here in Eklund, people don't typically have their own private restrooms. There's a cleaning station with a number of magical and some mechanical devices that help. It saves a lot of money in terms of building construction.
Oh, gotcha. Yeah, I should
There
probably.
were bathrooms in the mansion, but it's considered a luxury. Miss Nora had those put in place. It was one of her many expansions to the house up there.
That makes sense. Yeah, I should probably be a little more careful about kind of what I find normal.
Oh, and breakfast, and just put it on the guy with a bunch of arms.
Uh, Maynard, yeah, he grins, kind of taking it in stride. He's not a confrontational person. He-
Don't take advantage of my boy like that. I lean over to Maynard, and I just kind of nudge my arm, and go, I can cover part if you need to.
Maynard shakes his head. Oh no problem. I'm happy to provide a meal for you and your friends after all you did for Master Redburn. Um, he orders. He allows Rose and Ray to order as well before the innkeeper returns with their meals as well. The fare here, as you might imagine, is not nearly as good as the fare you were given at the manor. It's much more simple, kind of like basic porridges with like a little bit of fruit, that sort of thing.
What?
He does not provide any meal for Eris, by the way.
Yeah, that's fine.
I'll look back at Eris. Eris, do you want a little bit?
No, I'm good. Actually, I'm gonna check out that public cleaning station. I'll catch up with you guys later.
Okay. I will continue eating, talking to Mr. Maynard. And I'm trying to say this quietly, probably stopping or like pretending like it's a different conversation when the innkeeper goes by, just in case. Like, hey, do you know where they took Mr. Phillip?
Well, not specifically, but I imagine since it was Justice himself who came down, probably directly to X City. Um, it seems that the X state, as opposed to the Church of Catris, were the ones to take over the case. So he'd probably be in the state jail. I'm not entirely sure where that is in X City, but I know it's somewhere.
Gotcha. And whenever they're in the jail, do they cause back where we're from, you can kind of do like a visitation thing. Do they do that here?
Oh yes, of course. We treat our prisoners well here in Eklund. I can't say the same for the other nations of the world, but they do have rights as well. He will have a barrister to have a public defense. Uh, well, I'm going to try to convince Master Redburn to pay for a proper barrister rather than just a normal state barrister. But well, we'll see how that goes. But in any case, yes, you'll be able to visit him if that's something that you wish.
Oh, perfect. And I guess last question. This one might be a little weirder, but do you know what the shroud is? And I say it in a confused tone as well. Like, I also do not know what the shroud is.
Okay, even with disadvantage, wow. This is not
That's
the sort
my
of thing that
boy.
Maynard would know.
That's my boy.
But he gets kind of like a scandalized look on his face. He says, well, where did you hear that word, young master?
Oh, well, on our journeys, we met some people inside of the fog, and some people mentioned it, and I am being very apparent as to not mention that it was part of my future. But yeah, some people mentioned it, and I just didn't know what it meant.
Well, I mean, it is a word on its own, but if you're referring to the Shroud, he's supposedly the leader of a group of, well, thieves and criminals in X City.
He's also really cracked at CSGO.
What?
No, I'm there. No,
Sorry,
I'm
Lord.
there. I like it. I like it.
He leads the group is called the Piper Crawlers. I don't know the details behind them. They steal from the rich, give to the poor, that sort of thing. I know that the Piper Crawlers, at least, are a real thing. You hear about them in the news every once in a while. But their leader is supposedly a very mysterious figure who has never been caught or even seen, and they call him the Shroud.
I see, and I take it he's someone that should probably be avoided.
Oh, I should think so. Yes,
Okay.
he's a very if he does exist, he's He would have a bounty on him the size of, the size of my master's fortune, let's just say.
Gotcha. Okay, well, I was just wondering. They made him sound real interesting, so I was curious what was going on with that.
You should take care as to who you spend your time with, as one of his mechanical arms sort of waves a wagging finger. Don't get caught in with the wrong crowd, young Riley.
Oh no no no! Of course of course. It was just it was something I had heard in passing, and so I was trying to figure it out.
Oh, and he snaps his fingers along with one of his mechanical arms, providing sort of a double snap. He says, I did have some more time to think, and I am prepared to share my thoughts with you and your group as to my master's intentions and things like that, if you're interested.
Oh, very much so. I don't know. I mean, obviously Eris isn't here, and I don't know how much Miss Rose cares about my biddings and stuff. But I mean, I'm listening.
Oh, okay. Well, I'd hope that your group would stick with you if for no other reason than you would have some people to look after you, but, well, all right, here's my thoughts. My master's main, if you asked him about it, he would say that his main mistake was in permitting, well, violence and things of that nature to result from his work. But I think if you went down into it, he holds his political mistakes much more closely to his heart than those mistakes. I don't think he's a violent man by nature, but I don't think that he is truly as pacifistic as he might claim. Otherwise, he would not have threatened you with violence last night. If you could effect some sort of political change, for the better, obviously, by the use of your creations, I think that would go a long way into both convincing him that that you aren't so bad, and maybe even convincing himself that he isn't so bad either.
Okay. Yeah. I mean, I. I mean, I like that idea in general. Frankly, as I kind of talked about, the previous world I came from was kind of boring, and coming here to make a big impact would be cool. Is there some kind of like political figure or aspect that's like full of bad guys right now?
Well, I don't know if I would put it that way. I didn't give you the details last night, and I think perhaps that might have been a mistake. If this is the sort of thing that you're going to embark on, you need to know, well, exactly what the mistake my master believes he made was. He is the creator of the first clockwork machines, you understand. You've seen them around the mansion. Those were some of his early prototypes.
Right.
However, he sold the patents at a certain point willingly to the Eklund Republican Army, the military in this state, you see. With those clockwork soldiers that they made, they were able to produce quite a significant number of them, pushing out some of their flesh and blood forces, which first of all created, well, it was it created a lot of instability, first of all, having that many soldiers put out of work in a relatively short period. They passed laws to limit the number of clockworks after that, but in any case, the main issue is that the clockworks are a relatively easy to buy, not a cheap thing to buy, but an easy thing to buy for anyone rich enough to get their hands on them. No longer did people need to worry about the opinions of subordinates, about underlings, about people who might betray on them. They didn't have to worry about all that with the clockworks. And it resulted in quite a few already entrenched business interests to feel that much more entrenched and safe. And as a result, many laws and, the political state is such that poverty has become much more common than it was 10, 20 years ago. It's very complicated. Even I don't really understand. I'm not a political man myself, but anyone who's lived in Eklund can tell you that the clockworks meant that, the clockworks meant that a new group was going to be coming into power, and they were going to stay there as long as the clockworks were there to support them.
Interesting. Okay. Yeah, Riley, in his stool that is seemingly kind of oversized for him, will pick his legs up and sit cross-legged, just sitting there thinking, and just kind of goes into a silent thinking mode for a while. Just sit there for probably like the next few minutes at least, just thinking. I was like, if he's not going to say anything, it's fine. I'll continue.
Maynard does look over at Rose and say, if you're willing to tell me, Miss Rose, what are your and Miss Ray's intentions? Are you going to stick around with the young master here?
I would like to, as long as wherever we go would possibly lead me closer to, and then I can make a history check because it was on me, but Big Dragon told me female dragon is down south, right?
Correct.
But not a particular country or state or whatever.
He did not give you those details, no.
As long as we are going south or making our way south, I am perfectly fine with that.
We've seen a map, right?
And
Okay.
and Maynard, I do have favor to ask you.
Oh, well, of course, I'm willing to help, you and your group. Well, I'd like to see you get a good start in this world. I wouldn't want you to think that Eklan citizens are not generous. What's the favor?
It would be best spoken in private. Don't worry, Riley can be there.
Okay. He kind of he looks very intently at your head for a moment, and he says, I think the hair is coming back in just fine. I don't think you need another cut just yet.
Do not remind me I have to wear a hat because of you.
Oh, right. Apologies. He goes back to nursing his drink, waiting for Riley to think.
I was like, but regardless, as long as we're headed south, little Riley, I'll stick with you.
Yeah, I get out of my thonkin stance, and I go, okay, perfect, yeah, so we can go to X City, which is down south. We can talk to Philip if you don't mind making a little pit stop. And on the way, we can maybe talk to people, get some info. I mean, there's a lot we don't know about the world that we got to figure out. But yeah, I think this can all work.
I will say I do mean much more south than Eklund City.
Oh yes, I figured as much. It's just it was on the way, so I thought it might work out for the both of us.
No, I got you. I'd like to talk to Tom as well if you want. Also, God, did I get my shield? And I'm gonna take my amulet away if that's okay.
Yes, you can delete that. Yeah, I'll say Maynard would have brought your shield. I'll say as you look, he snaps his mechanical fingers. He says, "Oh yes, the master, he did finish the shield this morning. It didn't take him terribly long, as you might expect. Here you are." And he pulls out from his little backpack a fairly small shield, it basically the size of a small plate. He says, merely tap the center as such, and he taps the center of the shield, and it expands to cover a much larger surface. He says it actually has two size settings. If you do this, and he begins explaining to you exactly how it works.
Gotcha. And for flavor text, just because you haven't mentioned how it looks exactly yet, I can't remember if I said it, but I wanted a slightly reflective one for lights and stuff. Is it okay for it to be slightly
it would be metallic in any case. Yeah, that's perfect.
Okay, that's fine then.
Okay, there you go.
Oh god,
All right.
I knew he was a good inventor.
Well, I would say this is one of his less impressive works. But
yeah, but to do it so fast, it's crazy.
Well, I think I hope that I aspire to such skill, and I'm sure that you'll get there one day, young master.
Oh, look at your backpack. You're good too. I got my stuff to work on. But I guess nonetheless, Mr. Maynard, a few things I have, I guess, before we're on our way for a bit. One, is there a kind of main city center nearby where there might be quite a few shops for clothes and maybe knickknacks and stuff?
Oh, Oakfield's a fairly small town, as I'm sure you've seen. We have some shops here, but not many. I would say if you're planning on going on a big shopping spree, I'd recommend to wait until you get to X City. I mean, there you'll have, you know, you could spend days there shopping and not see the end of the stores and things that are available.
Okay, well that makes sense. All right. I mean, I guess is there anything else that you got for us before we head out? I am feeling a little stinky.
Um, Maynard shakes his head. He says, "Well, no, I kind of gave you the advice that I felt that I could. Um, I do my best, young master, but I'm sure that you and your friends will come up with some sort of plan. Uh, in the meantime, of course, I'll be speaking with my master and trying to convince him of the folly of this idea of his of giving you a year to determine your life or death. It's absurd, frankly. Um, but all the same, I hope you and your friends, well, you keep your nose out of trouble." He gives you sort of a wagging finger. He says, "And no more talk of the shroud, young man."
Oh, yes, of course. I'll try to keep the name out of my mouth. That's yeah, yeah.
He nods, satisfied with himself, and he says, "All right, well, you and your friends are always welcome in my workshop. I hope to see you all again, although I imagine if you're headed very far south, I might not see you for a while, but in any case, I hope, well, you can always send me letters should you feel the need."
The favor, Monsieur.
Oh, yes, the favor. He looks around, he says, "Perhaps in your room upstairs?"
That or your workshop? Is your workshop close?
Not really. It's a bit of a walk. I mean, we can go there if you'd like, but it is a bit of a walk.
That's fine. We can discuss in my room and then discuss whether we need the workshop or not.
All right.
Riley will just trot along unless told to stop because Rose said he could come.
Yes. All right. And I imagine there's like papers in here or something, or like a pen.
I don't know if there would be, but Maynard would be able to provide pen and paper.
I ask him for a writing utensil.
Yeah, he gives you some sketch paper and an array of pens.
All right. And I basically write down what I've been trying to fucking get rid of since session 2, which is the bug on my guitar. And I basically tell him that I think Nora implanted something to either listen or track my location or whatever, and I would like to have it removed from my guitar, as she's not necessarily the most positive thing, and it might not be good for Riley if we have someone like her following us or knowing where we are.
I would also like to grab the pen and write down, because I remember I rolled really high and I ended up finding the thing that you were saying didn't belong. I would like to kind of like tap Rose on the shoulder and like ask for the pen. And if assumedly she gives it, I will write down like exactly what I found and where I found it.
Okay. Sure.
And if it helps on top of that, I've also been examining it on my off time, trying to figure out how to do it. Granted, to no avail because I'm not smart, but trying.
All right. So here, what I was gonna do is Maynard made his investigation check just there, and then I was going to have Nora roll with advantage against him. However, I'll say since you guys are helping and have provided additional analysis and time studying it, I will just have her make a straight roll against his 19 there.
Motherfucker.
And with a natural 19 plus 8, Maynard, he says, well, I mean, I could certainly remove it, but I'm afraid that it would effectively destroy some of the capabilities of the thing. She's really placed it in an essential spot. If you mess around with it much, it'll render the whole thing useless.
do you know what it is, Mr. Maynard, exactly? Like, I mean, if he's looking at it or seeing it.
I'll say with the 19, yeah. He does say, well, as Miss Rose feared, it does appear to be, well, it's a combination of different spells, but the ones I can detect, there is a recording spell in progress, in addition to a locator spell. So you're correct on both fronts. I think there might be other things in there too, but I'm not entirely sure what.
And this wasn't damaged at all by the dragon's energy or anything?
To the best of your knowledge, no. I mean, according to Maynard, it still seems to be activated.
Okay. Disadvantage because you remember that the dragon struck it with energy?
That would have nothing to do with this, unfortunately. That does something else.
Okay. I kind of grab one of the blank pieces of paper. I'm like, well, can you write down how you would go about dealing with this, and maybe later on, when I get more confident with how things work here, I can try to help get rid of it.
Certainly, I can jot down some thoughts and notes. Certainly. He begins to write, and his mechanical arm's helping him. It doesn't take him very long. He writes, I'll say, about like 5 or 6 pages of like diagrams and notes that he feels might be useful if you eventually attempt to remove this thing.
Okay.
I will say with the 19, one of the notes that he does make is a potential option here would be to also enlist the aid of some sort of magical user to coordinate with you in terms of removing it. Because there's a lot of different components to this. There's like the electrical,
Gotcha.
the mechanical,
Okay.
and then the magical. So if you could get someone to help you at least with that last part, it might make it more likely that you'd actually
We'll
be
get
able to
Eris in here. It'll be a whole team adventure.
not
Oh,
that
we
sort
got
of magic. But always worth a shot, I guess.
Hudson's like, trust me, you don't want her helping.
I'm trying to be like more like a wizard. That sort of thing. Like
I understand. Okay, and then I guess I'll look to Miss Rose. Anything else for Miss Rose?
I sigh. Well, no, that was about it.
Okay,
I'm sorry I wasn't able to help with that. Miss Nora, she's almost as skilled as her father, and certainly above my skill level.
Is there at least a range on it?
What do you mean?
Of when-
For the spells? Yes, I suppose there would be. I'm not entirely sure. I'm not, I'm somewhat versed in magic, but I'm not an expert by any means.
All right. Fair enough.
One last thing I thought about Mr. Maynard, and I want to go ahead and pull the White Wolf pendant out of my inventory and show him it and go, hey, is this like something special?
Oh my God.
Dude, he's beaking these. That's my boy.
He should not know any of this, but his eyes widened. He says, "Oh, Ryan, where are you getting those things?" And he tries to
That's so
snatch
funny.
it from you.
Yeah, I do not. I definitely want to keep it. Especially just my like little kid instinct kicks in, and I pull it to my chest real quick.
Make a dexterity save.
Oh,
I'll have him roll a check here.
Just a regular save.
Yeah, just a regular save.
Dude, no,
yeah,
he's gonna
you're
take
probably not
it.
He's rolling
No.
very well tonight.
Dude, and I'm doing my usual rolls. Fuck
Yeah,
off.
he reached out with one of his mechanical arms, which to be fair are very dexterous.
Yeah,
he snatches the pendant from you, sort of
Uh,
holding it up like, out of your reach.
Yeah. As he grabs it, like, okay, listen, I'll tell you where it's from. Give it back, okay? I found that.
Now, Mr. Riley, this is not the sort of pendant that a young boy like you should be carrying around. It's very dangerous to carry these sorts of things around if you aren't actually associated with the group.
Yeah, but I wasn't, showing it off. There's a reason I showed you in secret.
Maynard explained the pendant, but eventually you have to give it back. It is Riley's.
Maynard looks very hesitant, but he says, "Well, I mean, I don't know I know as much about them as anyone. They do have a base here in Eklund, although it's much smaller than their presence in the Empire, but it belongs to a mercenary group, the White Wolves."
Oh, Geralt, I want to join them.
And would this pendant like do anything with us having it? I mean, obviously we don't want to show it off, but like,
Well, it's meant to signify your membership in that group. So if one of them found you, and I mean, it would not take them very long to find out that you are not a member of their group.
Okay, Riley, in hindsight,
I puff out my chest as he says this, and I say, they don't know me.
he looks at you and he says, "Now, young master." He says it like a bit like the parent, like patient but like kind of
Yes,
annoyed
yeah,
voice.
yeah.
Young master, you are very impressive, but not everyone sees that immediately upon looking at you. Many people will only see a young boy, and a young boy would not be a member of such an illustrious mercenary group.
Fair enough. Fair enough. Well, anyway, I want to keep it because maybe it'll be useful later. And I try to jump up and grab it, like kind of quickly without him noticing. Just like,
Sure, you can make another. Also, you can make acrobatics, an acrobatics check. He will make one as well.
fuck off.
Never mind. Well, I'll roll from the net one. Yeah, no, he is not.
I got
rolling
24.
Oh,
He
man.
easily his mechanical arm just keeps it just out of reach as you sort of jump up. He says, "For your own safety, I think I'm going to dispose of this. I'm going to send it back in the mail to the White Wolf. I will say that I found it, so that you are kept out of this.
No,
This is not a good thing to tangle with."
At least give it to Miss Rose.
He looks very skeptically over at Rose. He says, "No offense, Miss Rose, but the vast majority of their membership, I believe, is male."
I put my hands up and I go, that hasn't affected me, and the name is kind of cool, but all good. You can keep it.
Oh,
He nods. He nods as though like he's proven a point to Riley. He says, "As you see, Miss Young Master, you are obviously very intelligent, very skilled, but there are some things about this world that you just need." And he sort of launches into a little lecture.
yeah.
Yeah, you need to be more careful.
Maynard, is this group like inherently bad?
He frowns. He says, "Well, I suppose no more than any other mercenary group. They have a bit of a reputation for ferocity, but I suppose that's not a bad thing. Yes, I wouldn't say that they're particularly regarded as good or bad. They're merely a tool, as any mercenary group is."
Damn.
I am quite visibly upset at this point, and as a last-ditch effort, I do go, okay, look, what if I have it? I promise to keep it in my inventory, and then, even if they do catch it on me, I can just play ignorant. I'm a kid, right?
You can make a persuasion check.
Oh, please, dude. I've rolled so bad tonight. Give me
Yeah,
one.
like,
Give me one.
you gotta...
13.
Not a 1!
The 13, Maynard looks at you. He says, "I see that my lecture has fallen on deaf ears." And he sort of gives like a little hump, and his mechanical arms crossed in front of him. He says, "No, I will be heading straight to the post office after this and sending it right back to their headquarters. I'm sorry, my mind's made up."
Damn it.
I just okay. Yeah.
It's for your own good, young master. He sort of gives you another wagging finger with his mechanical arm.
Yeah. I will start to walk off to go out the door and go. Yeah. The usual. I'm a kid. Whatever. And we'll just leave. Just being upset, little child not wanting to face his problems and just walk out.
Oh boy, I hope that everything works out for him. In any case, Miss Rose, I'm sorry I wasn't able to help you. Hopefully, between you and Riley and, well, there are people in X City who might be able to help you too. It's a very large city. I'm sure that there's someone there. It's just a matter of whether or not you can find them, whether or not they're willing to speak with you.
I lost my damn pin.
Fair enough. Maynard, by the way, I don't intend to ask for currency on empty hands, but I found a few, and I show him like the metal scraps and the steel ingots and stuff. If you'd want them.
Well, yes, all of those are useful things for my work. Are you willing to part with them?
For currency, yeah. Currently, I'm broke, and I am not asking the wild card or the kid for money.
All right.
Until I get my shows up and running.
Sure. You can make a persuasion check with advantage.
Because
I haven't even done anything too crazy.
I mean, he is a normal person, so he does find Ray cute.
No.
Well,
Wow.
if it helps out you and of course Miss Ray, and he gives her like a wink and like his best like
That's so
smile.
funny.
He says, "I'd be willing to pay for those, of course. I'll give you above market rate. How's about no, twice the going rate? It's not so much that you're giving me that would drive me out onto the street or anything like that. So you can. I think it has prices on the actual things themselves. So you can double whatever those prices are, add that as gold to your inventory, and then delete the things there.
Oh god.
I clicked info too.
Um,
I was trying to find it.
But in any case, Maynard does say to you, "Oh, and I know you have your own goals in life, Miss Rose. But I hope that while you are with the young master, you do your best to, keep him out of harm's way. He's a little too bright. I worry that he might be a butterfly drawn to the flame in some cases, at least."
In my world, every good well, I believe you call them bards here, but every good musician needed a lot of lights and a lot of technology to accomplish cool stuff. So hopefully some of that will keep him busy.
I hope
I'm
so.
so pissed he took my pendant. I'm
Well,
so
I'll
mad.
bid you adieu. Best of luck, Miss Rose. Whatever you're searching for, I hope you find it.
Hey, so to be clear, do I need to delete this pendant out of my inventory?
Yes, you do.
Fuck! Dude, I'm so mad.
You should have shown it to Maynard. He's
No.
he's a good resource in some respects, but not.
me and Maynard used to be tight, but not no more.
In any case, Eris, you were looking for the cleaning station, as I recall.
Yeah. I'm
Okay.
gonna get
Riley will
clean.
head that way after all this has happened.
Same. Whatever.
Alright.
The thing that's below gold is silver, right? Not electrum.
Yes.
Electro.
So it's 10 silver is equal to 1 gold. Um,
And silver.
Eris, you find the station fairly easily. It's a large building, fairly plain, but clearly labeled. Inside there are stalls, and you find that some stalls are dedicated to what are supposedly cleaning showers, and others that are just like restrooms. Both are kind of strange. Instead of the traditional plumbing that you might associate with such a house, there are mana crystals. Very small ones, not nearly of the caliber you get the sense that
No
you
level
saw.
5.
Yeah, you're not gonna find level 5 in the bathroom, unfortunately.
Damn it! Are you sure?
Pretty sure. I don't think they'd even get you from level 1 to level 2. But you've, in any case, use these things to get yourself clean, to fully refresh yourself. They're fairly intuitive in how they're used. It does not take Eris long to figure it out at all. In any case, Riley, Rose, and Ray, you guys find Eris sort of waiting outside of the cleaning area, and you guys, I suppose, spend some time getting yourselves clean as well.
As I walk by Eris, I go, "Hey, don't show Maynard anything cool. He just likes to take it." As I angrily stomp into the bathrooms.
Oh my.
I
as
shrug
I-
and go, we had a conversation.
As I made my way to the whatever public bathhouse or whatever, did I pass by any other interesting shops? I know you said there wasn't much, but what are the options?
Yeah, I'll say you do pass by some of the basic, more like touristy shops. There is a shop that sells fruit and honey,
Fruit.
fresh fruit and honey.
Ooh.
And it's kind of, it's all like fancily made up, like you might imagine, like a midtown shop. And another one that is apparently like a very nice cafe. So there are like a number of like well-to-do people sort of sitting outside enjoying various beverages in the breeze.
Eris would fit right in.
Ooh, I'm gonna go get me some fresh fruit and honey.
Oh,
Ooh.
Yeah, you head inside. There's a younger woman sitting behind the counter, and she helps you, giving descriptions of the different fruits and honeys that are on display. Apparently, the draw of this place is that there are multiple different honeys from different species of bees. And she sort of describes like the various differences between them. Some of them more fragrant, some of them more sweet. There is even apparently, and you see behind the counter, behind a glass panel, a collection of what they term spicy honey.
How much is spicy honey?
Dude, spicy
Um,
honey's so fucking good.
As you might expect, it is more expensive than the rest of the varieties. It is 5 gold per jar.
Sheesh.
Ooh.
Oh, for a whole
She's
jar.
breaking
though.
her carnivore diet for
Hey.
honey. It's kind of like
For a whole jar, though.
Yeah, hell yeah.
She's
I'll
had
buy a jar. That's
potatoes.
Okay.
You can add 1 jar of spicy Oakfield honey to your inventory and mark off 5
Ooh.
gold as well.
5 of your 2,000.
and I guess y'all also take some fruit, whatever she recommends.
Okay, you can mark off another gold as she recommends some different things that go well, she says, with the spicy honey.
Excellent. Yum yum yum. Excellent. All right, well I'm satisfied with that.
Before we set off, what did you say what was the Shroud's group? Because he was the leader of something, the Piper something? Or
the thieves.
The Piper Crawlers.
Piper Crawlers, that's what it was. That's right. Okay.
But yeah, you guys are in Oakland currently. It should be, well, I think I've been calling it Oakfield, but it is Oakland. Yeah. You guys can discuss how you would like to approach your travel south. I need to go to the bathroom. I'll be right back.
Cool. All right, before we get into this,
Mhm.
I do not remember where the hell we learned about the shroud and the white wolf pendant.
I was gonna say, you don't necessarily know about them yet. Riley will probably openly talk about it because he wants to talk about how Maynard's a poopy head.
Yeah, and I'll leave it to Riley to explain.
But yeah, I mean, I will explain to you everything. Basically, the Shroud is the like gang leader inside of X City, and he's the gang leader of the Piper Crawlers, as we learned, and they're apparently like a pretty dangerous gang. And the Shroud is like a pretty, supposedly, according to like urban
Where
legends,
did,
I think pretty strong.
Where did Riley learn about that though?
He got his future.
When I got my
You do know
future
that.
thing, he told me Gears, X City, the Shroud. Those are the 3 things he said.
The giant guy.
Gears,
Okay,
I am
right.
assuming, is us talking to Robert. I don't know if that's for sure. And then X City and the Shroud, I mean, he's going to X City. He wanted to talk to Philip anyway, so it kind of feeds into the prophecy anyway.
Okay.
Yeah, so
and
we
the
might
white
deal with
wolf
the Shroud.
thing, where did that come from?
That is a mercenary group that does have a like a kind of base somewhere in Eklund, but they are
Where did
members-
Riley get the pendant?
That was off
From
one of
the
the
dead
dead
guy.
bodies. The dead guy that Peter killed, one of Peter's friends.
Oh.
Along with the cleric.
But the fucking pendant's gone now. You can't
You
tell
saw the
me.
religious symbol if you took it.
Pissed. I don't think I did for the religious symbol. All I did was grab the pendant. At least that's all I said I grabbed, I believe.
All right, I am back.
Was the was the religious symbol, Hudson? That was just something that was on her, right? Or was that like the dead girl, or was that like an actual item? I mean, I didn't grab it either way, but
It would have been an actual item, but it wouldn't have been
okay.
like as fancy as like the pendant. It would have been more like a homemade sort of thing.
okay,
All clerics need one to cast their stuff.
gotcha. But yeah, I did not grab that one. All I had was the pendant. But yeah, Riley would highly, after getting out of the shower, hanging out, he would very much like to go to X City. That would be his preferred next journey point.
Okay. Would you guys like to walk there? There is a road that leads from Oakland all the way to X City, if that's the route you want to take.
I mean, how far is it?
The signs would include distances. However, you're not sure how to interpret those distances as you don't know the unit associated.
Fair
with it.
enough. Okay. I guess I turn and look to everybody.
You can make an intelligence check,
Alright.
and this is a pretty high DC, as you were not able to see that well as you were flying.
Do y'all have y'all's checks up? My checks are not up. Or I guess I can do it through my.
You can do it for just from the sheet.
You said
Oh,
this
I
is
do
just
mine.
intelligence, correct?
Yeah.
Hey yo, I can
Yeah.
roll high. Not enough though.
Well, unfortunately, a 17 will not do it.
Not like it fucking
I'll-
matters, baby. Woo!
I'll say, I'll give you like a very like so you flew, but you're not sure exactly how fast you were flying. You were flying pretty fast. You get the sense it's not like an insane distance of like weeks. It should be a matter of days, probably. You're just not sure exactly how many.
Okay. I guess I look to the other ones and go, well, we can walk it. I guess, do y'all want to ask around for travel? I don't really have a whole lot of money when it comes to making that work, personally. I mean, what are y'all's thoughts here? We still have some rations, I believe. Kind of checking his inventory, seeing he has 9 out of 10 rations.
I'm alright with just walking.
Eris,
Yeah,
feelings, vibes.
it'll-
I was like, you would be the one probably having to pay for it. So,
Shit, what am I paying for again?
well, no. You don't have to. We can either walk it, or you could probably pay someone to, like, I don't know. There's probably like horse carriage or something we could get there.
I mean, yeah, I'm good with walking.
Okay. He goes, all right. Sounds good to me. Onward and upward, and we'll turn and start walking.
Okay. Sure. You guys can go ahead and make. All right. So, first athletics checks from everyone.
The classic, really.
Classic.
My strongest.
Hey, I can roll decently
Hey.
Doesn't matter.
on a check.
Ray and Eris, same.
God damn it, guys! Can y'all let my rolls be good when they're not bad, please?
Look, we're matchy. 14, 14, 8, 8.
That's kind of cute.
That's quite cute. Do we get a bonus for that? That should be like at least a +3 or something.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah, that's how that works.
3 for cute.
It's an average of 11, which isn't a complete failure.
I hate the way you said that.
So it will take you
It's only 10
one extra
feet.
day. So that'll be 1, 2, 3. All right. Okay. So first off, who's leading the group? Because I don't want to have all you guys make checks for this.
What check is needed for a leader?
Who's the stealthiest member of the party? I think it's Ray, maybe? Question mark.
Possibly. I'm a
+3.
+4. I'm stealthier by 1.
No one's proficient in stealth.
I am.
No.
I just don't. Yeah, I am. Yeah, because it's +2.
Okay.
plus-
That's
All
right.
right,
I was like, you get +1.
Riley, go ahead and make 6 stealth checks.
6? Jesus Christ. Is there a way to make it roll 6 times, or do I have to click it 6 times? Is there a... That doesn't look like it. Okay, 1,
Starting off strong.
2... I'm not even looking. 3, 4, 5,
Okay.
6...
Hey!
That's not
Wow,
bad.
they kept increasing.
That
So-
feels like that could have been worse.
Well,
At least
we'll
towards the
see.
end.
Someone roll a D100.
Got it.
He's got it.
Bang. Fuck.
Less than half
Okay.
of that.
Let me check here.
Are we gonna add all of mine together and see if it beats it? Because that's kind of a cool concept if that's what's happening.
No, that is not. That would be an interesting thing, but that'd be way too meme. D100 there. No, D100 is for the encounter table.
Okay.
And let's see, what is their perception?
I don't like the way you said what is their perception. I didn't like that.
You're so paranoid.
Yeah.
Um,
And whose fault is that?
I don't know. Someone hurt you. I don't know.
Well, maybe if I didn't have my goddamn pendant stolen, I'd be a little more safer.
Let me check here. Sorry, this is the first time I'm using this thing. It takes me a second.
I'll forgive you. I did like the idea of adding all the rolls together and seeing if we like beat it or something.
That would be something, but with the D100, that would just be way too inconsistent.
Yeah, but it'd be cool.
Completely random,
Dice
basically.
God's really speaking out. Excuse me.
Okay, if this takes too much longer, I'll probably just skip it because I don't want to spend all night looking at tables here.
Honestly, I do that sometimes, so it's okay. And I'm talking like the fine wood kind. Some oak
Right.
tables. Sheesh.
Okay, perception's +2. There we go. Finally, Jesus. Okay, yeah, I think that your stealth checks definitely beat, even with your fairly low rolls. I think it does average out
Let's
to much
go.
better.
You're welcome, team.
So 6 days do pass as you guys are traveling along. 6. You arrive the 20th of Rabbit in
Rabbit.
X City.
I was just looking at a picture of a rabbit.
I'll send it in the Discord real quick. It's intimidating as fuck.
Go on.
Debatable.
I gotta look at the rabbit now. That's the next step.
It was
That's a
from
good
my
idea,
Ring
Rex.
app. It was just in front of someone's door.
Oh, right.
It's fucking scary. I'm not kidding.
Hey, if you rolled a 100, is that just like a dragon that we have to fight, just straight up?
Or a god giving you something. You never know if it's negative or positive.
True. It could be either way. Okay, maybe the 1 is the dragon and the 100's
Yeah,
the
there
god
you
giving
go.
us something.
The table is complex, and it giveth and it taketh away.
All hail the table.
Rabbits are they're either cute or terrifying, and there's like no in
Dude,
between.
it's not even sitting. It's ready to pounce on whoever opens that fucking door. Anyway.
All right. So I did add a note in the calendar as well, noting your arrival in X City. Boop. And you find yourselves fairly quickly, and you can see it from a distance, a series, basically what appears to be a massive city sprawling on the horizon. You can't see the ends of it in either direction. If I can pull up the freaking map here, that'd be great.
I believe in you.
There it is.
Great.
There are.
It's black.
Let me mess with it real quick. Is the map black? Is
Yes.
it black? Is that what's happening?
Yes.
It's of color.
That's so awful. I hate it when that happens.
It's real unfortunate.
It's very unfortunate. Okay.
You know, one thing I like about this actually is I can drag my little square and I can't accidentally see an enemy in the dark or something. I'm so happy this one doesn't do that.
But yeah, you find yourselves in the bustling outskirts of the massive city.
Oh, scary.
There are towers the size of skyscrapers towards the center of the city. There is a fair amount of snow everywhere. Despite it not being that cold, it's probably like 50 degrees or so, but there's snow in a number of different areas.
Interesting.
There are what appear to be airships, blimps, massive blimps floating in the distance. The entire town is somewhat smoggy as well.
Love that.
The people in the streets are well dressed generally. There are vehicles that pass through the streets, somewhat similar to cars, although larger and with much larger engines at the front. There are no emissions to speak of from the vehicles either. You occasionally do see various animals pulling different wagons and things like that. But for the most part, the more common transportation is either walking or using these vehicles that move along the streets at rapid paces. What would you guys like to do?
I want to find a good place to play some
I
good
knew
old
that shit
country
was
music.
happening.
I want to go to B Stag 10. That's where I want to go.
Okay, I think that we should, because I looked at the party here, I'm like, well, obviously we want to find a comfortable place to be able to lay low for a bit. We need to figure out where they keep, people in jail and such. And Miss Rose, I'm sure you would like to find somewhere to maybe show off a bit of your genius and, hey, maybe we can work together and make some money. But yeah, I think first we try to look for some kind of like public center or something to help find some info.
A public center is perfect for a concert. Good idea. We will find the nearest park and/or public center if those intertwine.
I was
Not sure
gonna
what
say,
public
yeah,
center would look like.
yeah. I mean, or if I find a police station, like I guess that would also work.
I will not be going into a police station.
But I will.
How would you guys like to go about trying to find this place?
We
And I speak for all of us.
I asked someone.
Hello, fair maiden.
Oh God.
Okay. We will put something on the map here. Um,
Give me a good adjective. Give me a good adjective. Come on.
yeah, it literally is the adjective game here.
Let it not be racist.
You're asking just a generic woman?
Yeah.
Okay.
That's
Oh,
so
wow,
funny.
that's so
Oh, that's
fucking-
so sick.
That's a
Holy
great
shit,
one,
that is
Bob.
hilarious.
Yeah, she takes one look at you and Ray, and her eyes light up. She says, "Oh, hey, you guys look new to town."
That's
We
so
are new
funny.
to town, because I have no idea that
You
she
don't.
is
You don't know
just
this. You don't know
hot
this.
and bothered.
She is
So-
so unbothered.
Fair maiden, where is where we could find either a notice board or the center of town, a plaza, a main hub, if you will?
Oh, well, there's nothing like that in the club district, but there's lots of inns around here. I could show you. There are a couple ones that are very highly recommended.
Perhaps, do you know where a good place to play music would be?
Let's see.
I love how she's
what
gonna
would
get
you-
flirty with like an 11-year-old kid right there.
She does not appear to have noticed
I
you.
should have noticed
Yeah.
it. Okay.
My adorable feet
Uh,
is playing magic.
yeah. You can go ahead and make a persuasion check with advantage.
Goddamn right.
If you didn't get advantage on this one, I'd be astounded.
This will
Yeah,
be the
with
one.
the 28.
I didn't even need guidance.
Despite being distracted by Ray's eyes, she does manage to answer. She says, "Well, I mean, obviously, most of the music goes through the Arts and Humanities College. The Grand Theater, obviously, is where most of the big concerts happen. There are smaller concerts, and there's private entertainment and like sort of the loungy sort of clubs and things like that. I'm not a huge club person, but I hear about, well, there's a jazz club nearby. Maybe you'd be interested. I'd be willing to buy your drinks if you don't, if you.
Rose, now being more accustomed to like people doing this for her since she was a fairly big music star, goes, "Okay, we're getting it. This city's more like it. Yes, I will play."
I do kind of pull on Miss Rose's dress to get attention. I'm like, don't forget, we do still need to get some information as well.
About what? We're playing. We know we're playing. What do you want?
No, I know, and I'm more than happy about that. But we also need to figure out where like a possible like that jail or prison thing is. She seems interested. She might talk to you.
You're babysitting right now?
No,
No worries.
I
I don't know
turned.
him.
I was
don't
okay.
know him.
We both simultaneously. So Rose is saying that, and I go, I don't need a babysitter, thank you.
I don't know him. He belongs to, and I look really quickly to find Eris, and I go, that one.
No, I do not. I am my own person.
That's what he
She-
always says.
She looks confused, and she'll go close to you and sort of like whisper in your, that's fine. I don't care either way. But later I'll be at, and she says an address that wouldn't mean that much to you. But she says, yeah, I'll be there tonight if you're interested in some company. You
Okay.
or your friend or both.
Okay,
Sheesh.
I am starting to get the vibe.
Yeah,
now.
there's the vibe.
I-
That is a pretty clear signal there.
I will entertain it though because I want free drinks and music. Okay. I don't know the address too well. New to the town, like I said. How would I find this place?
Oh, well, she looks like confused for a moment, and then she snaps her fingers. She says, "At night, all the street lights light up, and you can see in the sky. And she describes to you what appears to be a series of balloons that they keep at the intersections of various
Oh,
streets.
that's cool.
They're somewhat difficult to see during the day unless you know that they're there and you're looking for them. But at night, they do light up with the names of the streets. It's a fairly difficult way to like navigate yourself because you don't necessarily know like the best routes. It only tells you the street information, but it is enough to get you where you need to go if you know like a specific address.
All right. And for the little one here, he would like to, and I give like a sigh and like a little side eye. I'm like, he would like to visit the police station if you guys have one.
I turn, realizing the situation of like recognizing people just think of me as a child and go, I just think police officers are really, really cool.
I give him a nudge like, now you're getting it.
She says, "No, we don't really have police. It's just the army.
Oh, even cooler.
Well, the Diamond District. There's Fort Gunsmoke in there. That's where they're mainly based. They have patrols, obviously." And she sort of gestures, and down the street you do see a group of soldiers patrolling.
All
Oh.
right. Well, carry along, and I give like a little nudge to Riley and I guess Eris if she's around. Although half of me thinks she's like wandering around lost for the moment.
I can't imagine she's that close to you guys. She's probably like looking in a store window or something.
I nudge Riley to walk like a little forward, like in that direction.
Yeah, I'll kind of turn to walk off and go. Never mind. Yeah, I'll turn and walk off. That's fine.
Okay,
So what did she say for where the stuff is? I was like, she was just saying we're like a group of army men, or? I don't understand.
She said that in the Diamond District there's Fort Gunsmoke.
Okay.
Anyway, now that he's a little further away, we're visiting one of his family members, one of the few he has left, and he's currently jailed up. I'm not too confident with the city and how it's built. Do you know where the jail is? That's why he was asking for police officers and stuff.
She frowns. She says, "Well, I mean, I keep out of trouble myself, but yeah, they do have a jail, a prison at Fort Gunsmoke. They do also have smaller jails for like little crimes and things like that, just to hold people overnight. They're in various areas. I don't know where the nearest one might be. If this guy is like in for like serious time, he's probably at the prison though, not at a normal jail."
Unfortunately, probably serious time. He's getting a visitation, and so thank you for your help. And I give her a wink, and I go, "I'll see you later, though."
Okay. Yeah. She like nods, and you feel her gaze at your back as you are walking away.
As I catch up to Riley, I catch him up that the prison is in that direction too.
Dun, dun. Okay.
I
Where's?
also look at him and go, "Listen, Riley, I know you're not a kid, and I know you're smart, and I know you're much smarter than I am. That's for sure. And you're much more mature than Eris is." As I point to Eris, probably wandering around some street, slowly following behind us.
I am checking out Todd's whiskey.
You see what I mean?
But there are times when I will, and I'll just say this how it is, where I'm going to belittle.
I was gonna say
the way
I
think
go
you
ahead and like put my hand up and I'm like, I know, I get it. It's a lot easier to play that aspect than trying to explain that I'm smarter than probably everyone on this street. As I look around annoyed at everybody.
More than likely. So just making sure we got that cleared.
I understand.
All right, let's see where Eris is, and as we go back, she can check out Todd's whiskey.
Yeah.
Yeah, Hudson, how much is Todd's whiskey charging?
Just to be clear, the picture is not literally where you guys are.
Yes,
It's just
yeah,
a
I figured.
representative.
No, Todd's whiskey. His and I quote,
No
monkey
Todd's
house.
whiskey?
You can make a quick investigation check if you're looking for booze.
If she nat 20s, she gets Todd's whiskey.
Shit, investigation. Advantage?
With a 7, you look around. There are bars and taverns, but there's no like specific like liquor store that you spot.
And instead you find
No.
Rick's whiskey, way lower quality.
Damn. Alright, fine, I'll catch up with you guys.
Rick's known for the several opioids he sells behind the liquor
Oh
store.
my god, that does say Monkey House. What the fuck?
All right, then yeah, me and Riley go to where the location of the prison, which
Okay.
is in the Diamond District where we go.
Yeah. So you guys cross over from whatever district you were in. The buildings
Before
get much
okay.
higher.
I was gonna say
Yeah.
before we go, does it look like as we're getting closer? Does it look like it's getting fancier? Presumably so.
Yes. The closer you get to the center of
Okay.
the city, the fancier it is getting.
Okay, I will turn to the gang and go. We should probably find new clothes, or at least I should. Assuming I'm just kind of in my like common combative clothes as I've been in for a while now.
Yeah. I mean, you are.
Okay. Yeah, we should
Did we
probably.
pass by
So, yeah,
a
have we
clothing store
crossed
on the
any
way
clothing
here?
store or anything?
You guys can make perception checks.
Good person.
Whoever's looking for it, I will make a perception check.
19! How many clothing stores did I see?
Yeah. With an average of 17 there. You guys
Are you
do
bringing-
spot quite a few clothing stores. Of various quality. Some of them are more like clearly intended for a working population. Others are much more fancy and probably much more expensive.
Oh, God.
Also, with the 17, you guys spot like one that's a decent middle ground of expensive. and
Okay, I was
quality.
gonna say, as we're window shopping, what are prices ranging from when we find like our low ends and our high ends?
Low ends are like single digit gold. High ends is like upper double digit gold, like 50 to 60, like that sort of range.
Okay, yeah, I guess
Uh,
middle ground is about.
Is like 30 to 40.
Yeah, okay. I mean, I guess with that being said, I look to Eris and I go, Eris, I'm willing to put in my 20, I guess, but do you mind helping spot for some clothes for us? Otherwise, I don't think we're gonna be fitting in too easily.
Yeah, sure. Also, we're not going to the high-end store. Hope you know that.
Oh no, I don't expect to. And I will make my way towards whatever middle ground store we see.
I think I'm good because I believe Nora.
Oh yeah,
As
I was gonna
God
say Rose
said-
might be fine.
I was like, as God said to me, the clothes were the clothes on my character art, and then Ray just was summoned wearing that. So
Yeah. Ray does get like a lot of looks. People seem to like they give her like a double look, like as though she's like some sort of mascot that they should recognize, but they don't.
That's funny.
So she does get like looks, but like no one thinks it's like strange. They assume that she's some sort of like mascot.
mascot,
Mask
the
off.
primordial god of the sun, you swines.
Or Tony the Tiger. One of the two.
I'll chop your head off for insolence.
Okay. You guys are able to purchase if Eris is willing to pay, obviously, some fairly high quality goods at the store.
Yeah.
I'll say it will cost. I'll say it'll cost like 40 gold for Eris and probably like 25 gold for Riley. As the children's clothes are much cheaper.
Yeah, small person.
So
Oh,
for a total
now
of
you're
like 65 gold.
Yeah, when it's convenient. All right, I will put my.
And you can both add fancy Eklund clothing to your
Woo.
Dude.
Eris will wave off Riley and be like, it's fine. You can keep your 20 gold.
Oh, thank goodness. I wasn't sure how I was gonna eat. Where is add? Would this be loot? I guess, or equipment?
Yeah, wherever you want to add it.
You said we're titling it Fancy X City Clothing.
Fancy Eklund or X City clothing. So to be clear with this, you will not look out of place in like a higher level district. You might look out of place with like the very highest like echelons or whatever.
Yeah,
but,
like walking into a $1 million mansion type thing.
Right, but for the most part, you should be good.
Okay. Chilling with some fancy egg clothing, city clothing on. Okay. I mean, Riley will now proceed on, as long as everyone else is chilling.
As you approach the Diamond District, which is lit up by a larger balloon in the sky, you do find yourself sort of constantly bombarded by billboards, signage, various advertisements, all advertising various stores at what is called the People's Market.
Ah, capitalism.
Yeah, you get the sense it's not really the People's Market. It looks like it's much more fancy and much more expensive, even than the store that you guys went to. However, it is sort of dominates the Diamond District as you enter it. Although it is, you do see on a hill portion of the district a large fort that kind of looms over the area.
Well, I think that's where we're going.
I think you're right.
Okay.
I will proceed on.
You guys head up there. I'll say, just to briefly describe it, the opposite end of the district does have what appears to be a large church or cathedral of some sort. Additionally, there is a massive building a decent distance south away from the People's Market. You're not entirely sure what it is. It looks more like a traditional office building, but very, very large and tall. In any case, you guys do make it to the fort. Guards stop you as you approach, asking your business.
I won't say anything expecting Rose to speak up, as Riley
Yeah.
understands.
All right. Hello.
Hello, miss. What's your business at Fort Gunsmoke?
We were inquiring about a visitation to maybe one of your troublemakers here.
All right. No problem, man. I'm happy to help with this.
He's so delightful.
The delightful Icelandian soldier steps inside what appears to be like a guardhouse, returning and offering you a form. He says, "Can I get the name of the prisoner?"
Philip, I believe.
Philip. He takes out a list and begins flipping through it. His finger stops pointing at something on the list. He says, "Oh, yes, a fairly recent inmate. Only arrived 3 days ago, it looks like." Let's see here. Ooh, he is. Are you close friends or family?
We are close friends.
Okay, you can make a persuasion check with advantage.
Roll high, roll high.
Does she find Ray cute?
He does find Ray cute, and he's also just delightful.
He's so delightful.
Just a happy little guy.
Guidance?
I do.
No. Guidance on that one doesn't make sense.
I do love the random characters, like adjectives. It's so great.
It makes it great to know what they are,
Yeah.
like what they would voice.
It is fun.
With a 23, he nods and he says, "Okay, well, he didn't technically list anyone on his close friends and family form. Sometimes prisoners just don't bother. But you all seem like wonderful folk. I'm sure that you're trustworthy citizens."
What a nice guy.
And he says, "I'll just need your names for the visitor log."
It's the clothing.
All right. Well, I am Rose. This is Ray. This is, and then I gesture whether he wants to name himself or not.
Oh, so are you going to me or Eris first?
You first. I assume you're next to me, and then Eris.
Okay. I go, "Hi, I'm Riley."
And then I point to her.
Name's Eris.
All right, quite a wonderful group of foreign names.
We
It
gotta
sounds
find
like.
Todd's whiskey first.
But, that's no problem, of course. Anyone is welcome here in Eklund. I will submit the request and see if it's approved. Shouldn't take very long. About a 15-minute wait, if that's all right.
Oh, more than all right. You have been quite the treat to talk to.
He smiles, beaming, pearly whites. And he says, "Oh no, no trouble at all, miss. I'm here to help." And true to form, he does go and apparently submit the request, returning, waiting with you guys. He tries to chat you up a little bit.
I tell him about the concert that I'm having tonight.
Are you
he
having a
seems-
concert tonight?
I'm goddamn right I'm having a concert.
but he nods and he says, "Well, I can't say I have much time for such things. They keep us pretty busy here at the fort, but I'm sure it'll go well."
Unfortunate, but very well.
I was gonna say, is he sitting there talking with us, or is he going off to do something?
Yeah, they're both there.
Okay. If we're chilling, I will talk to the delightful one, not the robust one. We don't know him yet. I'll say, just out of curiosity, because we're fairly new in town, trying to visit. Is there anywhere where you might be able to find like a toy store, or like a game store?
The delightful one, he like he's I'm not really certain, but the robust one looks over at you and he says, "Don't worry, I have a son around your age, and yeah, I have some recommendations."
Oh, please, yeah. I don't. Do you have like a sheet of paper or something? Or, I mean, I can probably just remember it.
Sure. Well, if you feel like you can hold in your trap, or maybe your guardians here can, and he begins listing some areas, some stores that he frequents apparently. I'll say you can go ahead and make a intelligence check.
Okay. Click, click, click.
Okay. With a 13, you get the sense that he is trying to give you stores that he views as, he sort of assumes that you guys are a little higher class maybe than you are.
Okay.
Most of the stores that he lists are in the People's Market, which you get the sense is very high end. However, he does list some that are also in the club district that you guys were just in,
Okay.
which would probably be more towards your price range.
Gotcha.
In any case, after a little bit, another soldier comes and speaks to the delightful guard, telling them that they're ready, and you guys are escorted to the dungeon.
I'd like to take a mental note of how many cameras, guards, and exit ways there are in this dungeon.
Do they have any paths that they like to take regularly?
Too many to count.
And on what second interval?
I'll make an
there
intelligence check.
is a game where I would figure all that out. It's not this game.
Just wait for a fucking prison break arc, alright?
You wait.
Right, and let's see who you get as your escort here.
Oh,
Dude, I
please
thought
don't
you were
be
going to say,
racist.
let's see who you get as your Philip. I was like, we didn't know his last name, so if he gave us a random one, it would have made sense.
Oh, wait, no.
I am so happy that we at least we got rid of the racist on the orb. Oh, he's aimless.
Oh, God,
that's so funny.
He's just like walking around. He's not really paying attention to you guys. He gets lost occasionally, but he does eventually lead you here. And he says, "All right, I think it's this one. Oh, nope, sorry, it's this one over here, I guess." And he knocks on the door and he says, "Visitors or whatever." And he opens the door, unlocking it, letting you guys in.
Riley can go first.
Okay.
Riley was the most giddy.
Yeah, I'm like, oh, Philip! And I will run in, kind of waving hello. I don't think we ever got to hugging level, but I will walk in and give him a wave.
No, as I think I described before, he's not a very good looking man at all, and he looks kind of like a brute. The door is behind you.
Okay.
It is subjective, but to most people he would look very much like a brute. However, he does beam at you guys with a large smile, giving you a good look with his one eye. He says, "So, yeah, young Riley, I'm glad to see. Well, if all of you are here, does that mean?"
Yeah, no, we did it.
Oh, and he claps his hands together, very satisfied. He says, "Well, that's good. That makes all of this worth it, as far as I'm concerned." And he sort of sits down on the bed there. "Well, I'm glad to hear that. And all you, no serious injuries, I hope."
No serious injuries here.
Rose definitely took the blunt of hits there while we were trying to deal with everything, but I think she healed up pretty well.
Well, all's well that ends well. I'm glad the young master is all right, and or either not. He wouldn't say the young master. He would say, "I'm glad,
No, he can call me
Master
Master. That's okay.
and of course, I'm glad that all of you made it through relatively unscathed."
Yeah. So, like, are you gonna be stuck in here? What have they told you?
Oh, my trial's in a number of weeks. I haven't met my barrister yet.
Oh, well, I can at least tell you that I know Maynard said he was gonna at least fight pretty hard to make sure Mr. Robert got you a pretty solid one.
At that, his face kind of falls a little bit. He says, "Well, I'm sure Maynard will do his best, but well, I can't imagine that now that the master is awake, I don't think he'll approve of my actions very much at all. But I suppose we'll see."
Well, that's dumb. You literally saved him.
Yeah, why would he not approve of your actions?
Well, despite them, first of all, very, very illegal what I did. Second of all, I put the four of you in, well, fairly serious danger through no fault of your own. And, well,
Well,
third of all,
if
he looks at Riley and says, "I'm not really sure how he would feel about someone like you, me bringing someone like you into the world."
well, if it makes you feel any better, you kind of saved my life at least.
Oh, I think you mentioned that the place you came from wasn't that great. And, well, I hope that you find this world a little better to your taste, Miss Eris.
Thanks, buddy. Thanks for the opportunity. I appreciate it.
Philip, I had my hesitancy about leaving what I spent my life working at, but I get a bit closer and I go, I played for a dragon. That beats anything
Okay.
and everything
It-
I've
It was
ever
really cool.
done.
Yeah, no, it was really cool.
Oh my, what color?
Bronze.
Oh, well, that makes sense. He sort of slaps his head as though he'd forgotten something. Well, that's very good. The Kemi clan is quite a valuable ally to Eklund. I'm sure that whatever you did helped secure that friendship.
Hey, and as far as things go, and wherever this trial may lead you, I know you don't think you made the wrong choice, even if you have some second thoughts about bringing us here. But I think I can speak for, well, at least me and Eris, and well, Riley hasn't been sad at all since he got here. I think I speak for all of us when I say, well, thanks, big guy.
He nods. Apparently, yeah, I'll say he does have like his demeanor improves somewhat. He says, "Well, yes, I don't really know how exactly they're going to deal with me, but I'm glad to see that the four of you are enjoying this place. I certainly love this world and the people in it, and I hope that all of you do grow too as well."
Well, oh yeah, go on.
Mine is not important if you have important thing to say.
No, mine was. I didn't see anybody talking, so I was gonna do last remarks.
Yeah. Just kind of sitting down. I'm like, so, Mr. Phillip, do you have a roommate? As I'm kind of like sitting on the edge of the other bed here.
No, I think they're keeping me in. I think they considered me a highly dangerous prisoner, and he sort of laughs at this. I suppose I shouldn't be surprised given my past. But it's unnecessary. I'm not a violent man by any means. Not anymore, at least.
Gotcha. And God, I have a bit of a meta question here. When it comes to the like us taking our boons, do the others know what boons we took? Especially since like they chose their boons fairly quickly, and I was up there talking with Miss Goddess for a while.
I'll say you know that they both took the body boon, but they did leave, I believe, before you had the discussion with the goddess and then finally picked your boon.
Okay. I will
Yeah.
wait on that then.
Yeah.
Okay. But yeah, on his dangerous remark, I definitely go, yeah, I mean, you are quite large, but you never seems like too much of a threat to me, at least.
Oh no, my days of knocking heads together are long past. Um, of course, they don't forget anything here at X City.
Of course, of course. It's like
Well,
Rose.
I'm certainly pleased that all of you visited, but I don't want you to spend too much time. You should get on with your lives. I'm glad. I'm glad that all of you seem to. Well, I'm glad things worked out the way they did. Could have been a lot worse, and I'm glad things worked out. Catris, and he sort of puts his hands up to the sky. Truly a merciful lady.
That she is. I say hesitantly. Regarding the side that's like very scarred, is it just like basically scarred, like scarred over?
You can make a perception check if you like. Okay, with an 18, I'll say you're pretty sure it's a result not of like combat, but of some sort of torture.
Well, if anybody else has anything to say, we probably should get going. And I look at Philip and I go, I already have a concert lined up.
Oh, good. I'm glad to hear it. I wish I could attend, but well, maybe when I get out one day.
I do have a question, Philip. I mean, seeing as though you brought us here, I don't know about Miss Rose and Miss Eris here, but would us like helping testify or anything help you at all?
He frowns. He says, "Well, I'm not really sure. I didn't think that the state would come down on me for this. I thought it would be the church, but I'm not really sure what they intend to throw at me. What charges? I haven't been told yet. I don't really know. But don't worry about me, young Riley. I'll be all right. I knew what I was getting into when I summoned you guys. This isn't a surprise for me."
I try to build up a bit of a stern look to like be as mature and adult-like as possible. Just go, okay, look, I know, I understand all that, but I mean, it's like the least we could do, and honestly, it wouldn't hurt us to maybe stick around, let Rose build up a bit of a reputation. We can maybe make some money while we wait to kind of proceed on, and I mean, while we hang out here, it, wouldn't hurt us to help you.
You can make a persuasion check.
Okay.
Persuasion. Not terrible.
Okay. With a 14, he was trying to sort of keep a sort of happy-go-lucky demeanor about his upcoming imprisonment, but he does seem to like look from side to side, suddenly a little bit more anxious. He says, "Well, I mean, if you're going to stay in the city anyway, I would certainly not mind visitors and, well, I'd have to speak with my barrister and see if maybe he thinks if positive testimony would help. I can't imagine it would hurt, right?"
Of course, and I look to the other two. I mean, I don't know if we're in a particular rush. Miss Rose, I know you wanted to find the thing you were looking for, but do you think that could wait a week or two?
No, it can wait however long we have to. Once we get an answer, then we'll know. Oh, do you want us to bring you anything, or are we allowed to bring you food and stuff like that? Or drink?
Oh, I mean, they feed me here, all right. But well, if you wouldn't mind, I wouldn't mind some books.
Well, perfect. What kind of books
Books,
do you like?
got it. And I point to Riley.
No, yeah. What kind of books do you like?
He's kind of shifts on the bed a little bit, suddenly a little less comfortably. He says, "Well, I mean, if you could find any."
Hentai.
He sort of looks over at Rose, and he is sort of blushing at this point. He
That's
says,
so funny.
I get a bit closer.
I don't want Riley going through the romance section, but I'm into romance books, if you don't mind.
Aw.
Perfect.
What? Sorry, what kind of books? I didn't hear you.
Riley, hold on.
Right, don't worry, Rose knows what to look for.
Oh,
Perfect. I got it.
okay. All right. Okay, and I'll give both Rose and Philip a very weird look, very confused look.
He does look at you. And he says, "Don't worry about it, Riley. It's an adult genre."
Ooh, the wrong choice of words.
Yep. That's what I was gonna say.
I narrow my eyes at him. It being goofy, but like being like the stern goofy and going, little do you know that I just got tried as an adult and told that I am one.
He says, I don't think that, I don't know who you spoke to, but there's not really many people with the authority to do that.
What was the name? What's his name? Justice
Justice Kennedy.
Kennedy. That's right. Okay. I go. Actually, Justice Kennedy said himself that I am an adult now.
You can make a persuasion check. He does not believe you. All right, well, I guess with a 15, he says, well, that's clearly you're just being. But then he looks at you and seeing that you're serious, he says, that's wow, that guy, he was. I tried to explain things to him, but he didn't give me the time of day. I'm surprised you managed to get through to him. He seemed like a very strict fella.
I cross my legs and cross my arms. Go. What can I say?
I sigh and go. He was, well, he doesn't have moments of. He has his moments, but he was quite persuasive in this one.
Well, I suppose that's just as well. Testimony from a child might not mean much, but testimony from someone who's been declared an adult certainly can't hurt.
Yes, and it's okay. I understand it's some adult book thing, whatever. You don't have to tell me, but I just wanted it to be clear that I'm an adult now.
Philip nods. I guess with a 15, I'll say, he does say, oh, okay, well, I didn't mean to offend it. And it's nothing like maybe what you're thinking. It's just, I'm a big fan of romance novels is all. That's probably not the sort of thing that you're into.
I get a big smile, and I just go, no, but I'm glad to hear you admit it.
Well, all right. I don't want to keep the soldier out there too long. He seemed kind of depressed. I don't want to keep him waiting forever.
He doesn't know where he's going. He might not even be there.
Philip shakes his head. He sees it's a sad thing to see in a soldier like that. Just no aim at all. But,
Dementia is horrible.
He do be without aim.
At this point I go, well, yeah, we'll get going, but we'll be back with the books, and you let us know if our testimony will hold up or be helpful. We will more than happily do that.
Sounds good. Perfect. Thank you very much for this. I know this is a favor you're doing me. Very generous, but all the same, I'm very grateful. If I get out of here, well, I'll probably head back to Master Redburn, but I will definitely find a way to pay you back.
At this point, Rose will go for a hug.
Yeah. Philip, gruffly, sort of he's like, you can't even get your arms around him. He's a very wide individual, but he does give you like a one-armed hug, with his massive burly barrel.
His arm engulfs you.
Group hug. I drag Riley into the hug.
Riley happily obliges.
Ray comes too.
Excellent.
Let's see here.
How does
Hugs
Philip
for-
handle this?
Hugs for giving us a better life,
okay.
buddy.
You see his veins bulge for a moment, and he grabs all of you, lifting you all up into the air with him, and spins you a little bit, not too much, but from side to side. And he says,
Thank you, Philip. I still need to breathe, though.
He sets you down. He says, "Sorry, it's been a while. It's good to have a group like you. Well, it's like my old gang."
Aww.
We're a
Okay.
gang. And Riley looks very excited.
Did your gang have a name?
He nods, somewhat embarrassed. He says, "Well, yes, I was a member of the Piper Crawlers.
Hey, there it is.
Somewhat famous.
Riley's eyes widen. And I go, did you ever meet the Shroud?
He looks over at Riley, very his eye like narrowed in concern and like surprise. He says, well, no, and to be clear, this isn't a good group. You should keep your distance from them. I left them, and I have no regrets about that. They're not a good group by any means. They're criminals, and he gives you like another stern look.
God damn it. Oh, yeah, yes, no, I've had the talk before. As I talked to Maynard, we heard the name prior, and then Maynard told me he was a party. It was a whole thing.
No, you should keep your nose clean while you're here in X City. You don't want to end up like old Philip here in the dungeons.
Yeah, it doesn't look like the most homey place.
All right, well, I'm sure I'll be seeing you guys later.
Real quick, Philip. And I look at the other two. Do y'all mind if I ask him something personal? It's kind of a guy thing.
All right, I know when to make my exit. Philip, keep your head held high and your spirits in check. We will be back at some point.
Eris looks at Riley and goes, "Wow, you're going through puberty already, huh?"
What are you gonna do?
The soldier looks at you three and he's like, wasn't there more of you?
You're hallucinating.
You're gaslight him.
Riley, and I'll just walk
What do
out
you
the
mean? door later. What do you mean? What do you mean? There wasn't another person.
Yeah, what are you talking about, dude?
You can make a deception check with advantage.
Oh, don't do this.
I got
it.
it.
Oh god.
You got it?
No, that was such a high roll.
He looks at you and shakes his head. He says, okay, whatever. Who even cares?
That's the spirit.
He begins escorting you guys back to the entrance.
Hopefully he forgets to lock the door.
Oh yeah, did he lock the door?
He would lock the door behind him. He's
Okay.
not quite that fearless.
Hey, oh god, Jesus Christ.
y'all really set this up here.
I look at Eris just dying laughing.
But yeah, he escorts you guys back to the entrance of the fort, unless anyone stops him.
I'm not stopping.
Okay, well, Riley doesn't know this is happening, I guess. Actually, this is good for... Do I hear this conversation or just, like, mumbles?
No, the walls are pretty thick here, and
Okay.
you just hear mum.
Good, I prefer it that way. Okay, once they all leave, I do look at Philip and I go, okay, just so you're not worried, I don't actually have weird boy questions. I understand how most of that works.
Lies.
He nods and he says, "Well, all right. If you're confident in that regard, I will say, as when I was doing my clerical training, I did teach and he does.
Oh,
go
well, that's
into
okay.
detail.
I start waving my hands like, no, that's okay. That's okay. But I do actually kind of have questions about the clerical stuff. So whenever y'all summon us Outworlders, do y'all understand we get like our boons, right?
Oh yes, they teach all about the different boons.
Okay, so how exactly does the call boon work?
Well, you have to pick a deity to call to, one of the Empyreans to call to, and whichever one you call to, well, it kind of depends on how they interpret your request and how much power they're willing to grant to you. But yeah, they are bound by the oath of the whole contract to aid you in whatever way you're asking for.
Gotcha. And I know that we don't really have time for like an entire list here, but do you happen to like have a few ideas as to like if I needed to use it, kind of certain gods I should or shouldn't call for? Because frankly, I don't know who else to talk to.
Well, of course. I'm like I said, I flunked out, but I was a cleric of Catris for a while there, and I still believe that she is, the Empyrean that looks out for us mortals the best and the most.
Okay. Gotcha.
I recommend calling to her if you're going to call to anyone.
Okay, and is there like things that she's particularly good at?
Well, she's. I think that you'd approve of her. She is known for her creativity, and she is one of the domains that she's associated with is the Forge domain. She is typically more of a she builds things for the sake of their beauty as opposed to their functionality. But regardless, she would certainly be able to help you with any sorts of requests, maybe in the furthering of your career as an inventor. She is also one of the domains she's associated with is the life domain. If you ever find yourself or your party suffering some sort of grievous injury, or heaven forbid, even some sort of premature death, you might be able to call on her to resurrect them on the spot.
Interesting.
She is also, her third and final domain is the justice domain. If there's some sort of horrible wrong you see, she might be able to help you right it very quickly.
Excuse me. Cool. Okay. Well, I'll definitely keep that in mind. And whenever you summon us, because obviously we talked to a god, would that have been Catrice that I talked to?
Yes, that's who I called upon to summon all of you.
Oh, okay. Well, she was a really nice lady. Okay, well, since you are trustworthy, and if I, because I'm very curious about how the gods and stuff work here, would there be any gods that I should particularly avoid calling upon? Because I have a feeling if I ask some people, I might get answers I don't really want.
Oh, well, there are a number of bad Empyreans who govern other groups of people. You can make a persuasion check.
Okay. Yes, sir.
He says, well, you don't need to worry too much about them. It's easier for me to give you a list of the good ones. Like I said, Catrice is who I would recommend. The three Z's, though, they're not so bad. Zal, Zafina, and Ziltrum. And the dwarves worship a goddess named Vala, and she's not so bad either. I would stick to just them, though. The other ones, I would say they're either not as reliable, or, like I said, they're not. They're more evil entities than the ones I mentioned.
All right, fair enough. That was my main question. I don't think that the other two really know that I chose this route, and I don't know if that's a power I want to go spreading that I can use at a moment's notice. Being a kid, I feel like there's a chance it gets taken advantage of, so I'm trying to keep that one on the low.
Yes, you should be very cautious of that. I've heard of people kidnapping Outworlders to take advantage of that.
Yeah, I kind of figured as much. That's pretty much it. But yeah, we'll definitely be sticking around a while. I guess to ask you, even though I know you're kind of stuck in here, have you ever visited here? Do you know of any cool toy stores or game stores? I just kind of shrug.
He shakes his head. He says, "Well, unfortunately, I did live here. It was my home for most of my life, but I never went to any toy stores or game stores. That wasn't the sort of life I led, unfortunately."
All right, I kind of figured as much, but it's worth a shot.
All right, well, I suppose we should get you out of here. He goes over to the door and knocks on it, and he says, "All right, the young lad's ready to leave." He knocks on the door again.
Oh,
hello? He tries the handle, finding it locked.
I look to Philip. Am I in jail too now?
Philip looks back and forth. He yells very, very loudly through the door.
I cover my ears.
Yeah. He'll make a constitution check.
Okay, what were the three Z's? It was Zal, Zelfina, and what was the last one?
Zal, Zafina, and Ziltrum.
Zafina and Ziltrum. Okay. And did he say anything about them? I know he said the dwarves worship Vala.
He did not say anything about those three.
Okay. He just said the three Z's.
Three Z's. He looks over at you and he says, "What? I suppose that soldier boy, he really needs to take better care of his charges."
Yeah, I guess he took them back to the front. I mean, maybe he's just planning on coming back, I guess.
Well, he might not, to be honest. He doesn't. I don't want you to stay here overnight.
Well, I mean, if I'm in here with you, I can keep you company for the night, and I'd imagine you get kind of lonely. We could play like a game or two or something. You know.
Oh God.
You can make a persuasion check.
Like, to be clear, I don't know if I really want to, but I will to be nice. This is canonical. I would not be being very persuasive.
And he shakes his head. He says, "Oh no, this isn't the sort of place for a young boy."
Did the soldier already bring us to the front?
Yeah, I mean, he escorted you guys to the entrance, and yeah, you guys are.
Eris
What about the
would
delightful soldier? Did he notice?
Eris would like to snap her fingers and go, ah, damn. Hey, dude, can you go back to this cell? I think I forgot something in there. Probably my cat or something.
My cat.
Okay, he shrugs, and I suppose he will leave Rose and Ray at the entrance, and he says,
Oh, wait, leave me there too.
"Oh, okay. So
Yeah,
you
go
want him
get
to
it
go
for
back
me.
alone to get your cat?
Yeah, go get it for me, please.
You can make a persuasion check with disadvantage.
Disadvantage!
You're asking him to get a cat.
Yeah, come on.
Asking a lot from the aimless man here. He
not
lets out a
terrible.
sigh, and he says, I don't make any promises, but I'll try to find him."
Thanks, man. Appreciate it.
If it helps, just call for Riley. It's a white cat. You'll find him.
What color hair does Riley have? Brown?
That's like a white gray.
That's why.
Okay. Yeah, he's got white gray fur, man. Can't miss him.
Funnily enough, I do kind of have cat ears in my hat, so.
There you go.
That character is canonically a cat boy.
Yeah. He lets out a long-winded sigh and meanders back towards the prison.
I didn't even
Oh,
know that
God.
robot. I'm already living that prison life.
In the
baby.
meantime, Philip, he lets one more yell out, but again, not getting any response. He shakes his head. He says, "Actually, I'll have him make an intelligence check."
I will say, well, at some point they gotta feed you dinner, right? I mean, they'll notice it at some time.
Well, it's hours until dinner time.
Excuse me.
Well,
I go plop on the bed. I mean, you know, if you got time, we can talk about the gods more. And we don't have to go through a whole conversation, but, you know, whatever god knowledge Riley could get would be useful.
okay. Yeah, with that, I'll say he does plop back down. You can go ahead and make an investigation check
Okay.
to see how well you can lead him along in this conversation to actually get useful information.
Nice.
Hey, there you go.
Let's
See,
go.
we
That was
bought
actually
you
that was a pretty
time.
important one too. Yeah, this turned out y'all fucking with the guy actually
Yeah.
made this very useful.
There we go.
Okay. He mostly talks about Katros, sort of giving you the details of the worship here. You do learn that the Church of Katros is a state-endorsed religion here in Eklund, and while they do have many freedoms here, they do not have freedom of religion.
Interesting. Okay. And this is in
there
all
are-
of Eklund.
This is in all of Eklund. They only worship Katros here.
Interesting. Okay.
However, they do acknowledge the three Z's as being like not bad, but they just don't tolerate like them actually setting up like organized worship
It can't
here.
be, yeah, it can't be their main worship.
Worshipped in private or whatever, they would not care that much. But if you're like gathering lots of people and like trying to start a church,
Makes
no,
sense.
not acceptable. Yeah, I'll say that's kind of you didn't have like a ton of time with them. It was also that's sort of the main detail that you get that you
Okay.
find interesting.
No, knowing that is actually pretty interesting. I like that.
The door opens. You hear it unlock as the guy peeks his head in. He says, he looks around at you two and he says, "Is there a cat in here?"
Oh, well, I stand up. No, but the door was locked earlier. Can I go back to the front? I'll kind of try to look past him and go, where are my friends?
He looks down at you. He says, "I think they were confused. They thought you were a cat."
I look at him confused and go, right, I did like the magic one tell you this? The red hair?
He looks at you somewhat blankly.
Nothing is going on inside his
There's
head.
no thoughts behind
Nothing.
those eyes. No.
White noise
It's the
all
little,
the time.
it's the monkey, the symbol monkey, just going do.
He says, "Oh, I think I'm gonna take you back to the gate. She thinks that you're a cat, and
Okay.
she wanted me to grab you."
No, we'll address that later. Yeah, I'll follow you out. But I do go to give Philip a fist bump and go, well, we'll see you soon. And hopefully with the best outcome.
Oh, okay. Take care of yourself.
You too.
The guy escorts you out, locking the door behind.
Where does he keep his
yeah.
key?
What's that?
Where does he keep his key? He's pretty aimless.
He does keep his key on his belt.
Is it pretty loose?
It's pretty loose.
Like how? Like if I'm looking at it, right? How loose and how easy would this be to grab?
Probably DC 10. Sleight of hand.
Oh, you're giving me a DC 10. Fuck.
Stealing, it's the consequence.
Yeah, but I'm
Hey,
plus.
hey,
I'm
hey.
plus 4. That's. I need a
I'm not
6
saying
or
you
higher.
can't.
We all know that you roll very, very well when it matters.
That's true.
Yeah, exactly.
Oh, okay. While we're walking, would I be able to gain advantage by pulling the good old what is that over there? He's pretty aimless. He's pretty aimless now.
Yeah, you can go ahead and make first a.
Okay.
I'll say just.
Oh,
Yeah.
Okay, so, and you can tell me if this is okay with you, God. Could I do a performance and then Riley, kind of based off how well he feels like he distracted him, then try to grab it or not?
Sure. You can make a performance check. That works.
Okay.
I was gonna say either that or deception.
They're both the same for me. How about them fucking apples, baby?
I can't wait for the now
Yeah,
on the
he
thing.
looks over and he starts wandering in that direction.
Can I just grab it if he's walking away? Do I still
you
throw a
can make
check for this?
you can make a sleight of hand check with advantage.
Oh, that's all I get? Let's go. Let's fucking go, baby.
22. You do manage to grab the key off of his belt.
Okay. I will put that in my pocket and proceed on.
Yeah. It takes him a little while to find.
Yeah, as he turns, I go, oh, never mind. I thought I saw something. Sorry.
Well, that's okay. I thought I saw something too. He slowly meanders, finally making his way back to the entrance. Rose, Ray, and Eris, you guys are waiting for like 20 minutes, waiting for him to finally get back. But he does end up there. He like looks around confused and he says, "Is anyone looking for a cat?"
Yeah,
There's my kitty.
there he is. And just like picks Riley up and slings him over
That's
his
so
shoulder.
funny.
Come on, boy, let's go.
Riley's not even mad. He has this like very smug face on him right now, and just goes, "Yep, I'm the kitty," and just like hung over right now, like hung over the shoulder.
So the soldier shakes his head and he says, "Got to be a law against that."
Excellent.
Let's go. All right. As we start walking, assumedly back towards the place. Well, once we get like around the corner, out of earshot of the guards. Okay, Eris, can you put me down?
Yeah. Sure thing.
And as she puts me down, I will open my pack and kind of hold it out, and I go, "Oh, hey guys, wait, I want to show you something real quick." And I don't want to pull it all the way out of my pack for obvious reasons, even though we are like far enough away. But just kind of show and go, "This may or may not be the key that opens Philip's door. I don't know if we'll actually need it, but I figured better safe than sorry." And the guy was kind of dumb, so.
I look at him very sternly and go, "You are an adult, and if you're caught, you'll be tried as one. And to be clear, I'm not following you into prison if you go there."
Eris rests a hand on the top of Riley's head and goes, "I am so proud of you."
Thank you, Miss Eris. I'm glad you recognize. And Miss Rose, I don't intend for you to follow me into prison. Listen, we all saw that guy. It was too easy not to take advantage of. Not that we have to use it. It's just, it might be good to have. You never know.
I get a bit irritated as I go, Riley.
Yes.
You understand that if they find out that we took it, they have our names. Not only that, Philip's case will be severely weakened. Correct? You did realize that before you took the keys, correct?
Yes, I did. But,
Okay, so if he gets executed and dies, it'll be on your hands, and not ours. You understand that when you took his keys, right?
I give her a very, weird look, and I'm like, yeah, I guess, but I mean, they have basically no way of proving this, and frankly, if it's that guy saying he lost his keys, it's probably not the first time.
Okay, I'm just making sure you understand the worst case scenario. Because I will not defend you in a court in that case. I like freedom.
I don't expect you to. Yeah, I would rather just gives you a weird look. He's like, sorry.
Yeah, middle sorry, I walk away.
Ray does glance back and gives you a look as well, Riley.
I mean, that adds up. I didn't expect her to react differently. Okay. And we'll keep walking, I suppose.
Where would you guys like to go?
Yeah, where are we going next?
I'm going to the club. Y'all got me fucked up.
I will go ahead. I won't tell anyone this, but towards the back, I will go ahead and go into an alley or something and dump the key somewhere.
Like hide it or just dump it?
Yeah, hide it under something where I know where it is near the place, but so it doesn't stay on us in case it's tracking or something like that.
Okay.
I mean, if I'm allowed to make a mental note of wherever I put it, alley wise.
Yeah, you can make a stealth check.
Alright. Hey yo,
Okay.
Oh.
I roll
You
high
hide
matters.
it quite well in a fairly nondescript alleyway. You get the sense is not not a whole lot of passengers, people going through it.
Let's go.
Yeah.
Alright, I will keep that there, a block or two away from the prison if need ever arises.
Alright, so I'm
Worst
assuming
case, I sell the info, baby.
Nice. Rose is going to be at that club for the rest of the night, I assume.
Yes.
Okay. I'm allowed to wear light armor, right?
Assuredly. I think everyone
Sorcerer?
does.
Okay.
Oh, can sorcerers not wear armor at all?
I don't think so.
Oh, that's crazy.
That
I can check.
sucks.
They wear robes, my little kitten.
Yeah, they're not proficient in any type of armor.
Riley done
Gotta
been a
compete
cat
for that. Unless you're the forge cleric, in which case you do get. Otherwise, no.
Well, clerics in general can often wear
Um,
armor, but sorcerers, I don't think any
While
subclass.
we're walking, Riley is keeping. Or did I get Did I get the addresses of these stores, these game stores and such?
No, he only gave you their names.
Fuck. All right, I'm just gonna look around for the names then as we go back through the diamond part of the city. And
All right.
then-
I mean, Eris will look to Riley and be like, while Rose is doing her thing, do you want to go shopping?
Yes, please. Yeah, Riley's ecstatic to go with you shopping.
Okay, so next question, Hudson. Well, I guess Eris wouldn't know this since she's new to the world. I'm trying to maybe looking for a store that has magical artifacts, maybe I could get a ring or something that improves my AC.
Oh, there you go.
I don't know, something. Just
Sure. You can make an investigation check. I'll say with advantage if Riley's helping you.
excellent.
Can I make an investigation with advantage because I know the names of the stores that I'm looking for?
Yeah, sure.
Look at you with the nat
Hey.
20s. Sheesh.
Look at that, damn.
So with a 17, you do find some of the stores that the guy mentioned. Not all of them, but yeah, there's a variety of knickknacks in a lot of them. One of them, which you do find, which I am guessing is what Riley's going for here. the latest editions of Emperor's Gambit.
Damn right, baby. Get me in there.
Okay. An older gentleman behind the counter offers them, sees you interested in them, and he offers to give you a discount if you can beat him.
I
Ooh,
look at him
fun.
gleefully and go, well, it is technically only my second time playing, but I do like a challenge.
He says,
I am looking to bait him into playing worse.
okay.
I mean,
you,
I am being truthful with my statement, but
you can make a persuasion check.
meh.
Yeah, he looks at you and he says, well, this should be a good experience for you now, shouldn't it? He will go ahead and you can make a tactics check.
Fuck off. I was rolling too good for too long.
Well, it's possible he does worse. Let's see here.
Oh, let's
Uh,
go! Huge.
He does not play terribly well, as you
we
do manage to.
both make a lot of mistakes.
Yeah. He's like dealing with other customers and stuff while he's playing. He's not paying the full attention to the game. By the end of it, though, he shakes his head. He says, "Well, for the third time playing, I'd say you're already pretty good. Hey, listen, we do have a tournament here. Happens every month. If you're interested in signing up, there's a cash prize at the end."
Oh, I mean, of course. When is it happening?
He like flips down. He says, "Well, it's the last. Let me check here.
While he's looking, is he looking at a calendar right now?
Yeah.
Do y'all happen to sell calendars as well, by any chance?
He looks up and nods. He says, "Oh yes. I mean, they're a little bit fancy, maybe for your purposes, but yes, we do."
Oh well, yeah. I mean, if you have any cheaper ones, I guess. But I don't really need a fancy one. I may look elsewhere.
He shrugs. He says, "Well, it's up to you. Unfortunately, we only sell more." And he sort of gestures to a wall of displays there where they do have different, basically like you can imagine like different monsters of like the month, that sort of thing, like themed calendars.
Yeah.
He says, we have the tournament on the 15th of every month.
Oh, perfect. And can you remind me what day it is?
Today's the last day of Rabbit, so in 15 days will be the next tournament.
Oh, that's perfect. Okay, awesome. And how much of a discount am I getting? As I give him like a pretty big little smile. Pretty
Well,
big
you'd
smile.
better give us the opportunity to win some of that money back, but I will give you a 20% discount. I'm a man of my word. He looks over at Eris, who he assumes is your mother.
So I look back at Eris and I'm like, look, I'm willing to dump my whole 20 in here, okay? I need the newest set. I can win it back and I'll pay you back whatever I win.
How much is it?
It doesn't matter.
How much is it?
It would be 15 gold pieces. However, with the discount, it's only 12.
Oh,
Okay,
well, never mind.
fine.
I looked to the guy and I go, oh, never mind, Eris, you're good. And I will put my hand out and go, I'll pay for it.
Wait.
He nods approvingly and like says to Eris, "Good, teaching him the value of money early with an allowance. I certainly approve."
He is a precious little baby. Thank you.
I get a very annoyed look at my face, but don't say anything. Hold it
Eris
up.
like ruffles your hair for extra
Oh,
measure.
you son of a bitch. You're lucky Rose has had this talking with me.
Yeah, you can mark off 12 from your, and you can add. Let's see, this would be.
You did say the newest set.
Yeah, so this would be a 151 edition. I'll say you get the commemorative Imperial edition of Emperor's Gambit here.
Commemorative. You said commemorative Imperial.
Imperial edition, yeah.
Okay. Damn, I got that fancy shit.
I mean, they kind of only sell the fancy stuff. Is It's
Yeah.
more of like a niche hobby here. So they basically only have the fancier editions.
Um, okay, as I get this, thank you, I appreciate it. And then, quick question: what is the buy-in for the tournament? I mean, I assume if it's a paid-out tournament, there's some kind of buy-in there.
It is a bit of a pricey buy-in, as we have a lot of upper class players who attend. It's 20 gold to buy in.
Gotcha. And then, my last question, I guess, would be when it comes to the, Emperor's Gambit in general, are local tournaments kind of where it stops, or is there higher things to look for?
You can make a persuasion check with disadvantage.
Fuck.
Sucks being a kid, doesn't it?
It really does. God damn it.
Yeah, with the 7, he says, there is a fairly significant tournament, but it's really only for, it's not a place for children, I'll put it that way. The local tournament's probably the most that you would be accepted into.
I huff and go, all right, I guess after I win, I'll ask again.
He chuckles and says, "Oh, of course. Maybe talk to me after that."
I do laugh, having try to imply a little bit of joke in there. Go, well, thank you, I appreciate it. What's your name?
Oh, I'm Animated, Mr. Animated.
Oh, cool. I like that name. Thank you, Mr. Animated. Hopefully, I get to play you again soon. And I'll reach out my hand for a handshake.
He shakes your hand up and down very animatedly.
Fair enough.
Much better name than a good old Narcissus.
Awesome. Well, I guess I'll see you soon. I'll go ahead and head out the store. Eris, what are you looking for?
With the nat 20, we will get on to that now. So you, I'll say you would have to ask around a fair amount for this, but between you and Riley, you are able to speak with, and you speak with the correct people too. Like, there are people with robes who like carry around books, and you get the sense that they're like, either wizards or wizards in training. They surprisingly are willing to answer your questions, as they apparently sense a bit of magic coming from you, and they kind of assume that you're like a new wizard in town. And you get a few leads here. First of all, if you're just interested in like artifacts and things of magical nature, but that are not for sale, there is a museum. There's the Eklund Museum of Notable History and Artifacts. That's in the Heart District. However, those artifacts are not for sale. You'd only be able to see them. For things that you might actually be able to get, there is the Eklund Arcane University, where they do have a number of items. Typically, the magical items there, you need to be a student there in order to sort of take them out on loan. They don't typically sell items except for like nobles and things like that, or like people who they have a previous relationship with that they're willing to entrust these items to. With a nat 20, so those two you probably would have figured out either way. With a nat 20, however, you do find a couple of shady individuals who give you like, they don't tell you anything, but as you start to leave, they like hand you a note very surreptitiously. And they say that if you're really interested, then there is a market, and the market is in quotation marks, in the Spade District, and it gives you like a list of directions and a password.
Oh yeah. Hell yeah, Eris wants to go there.
As we are finding this info, if I could look for a store that seems like they would have a cheap journal/calendar that I could buy.
Okay, I'll say with a 17, you guys do have to you exit the Diamond District. At this point, you're back in the Club District. But you do find a store in the Club District that sells a fairly cheap calendar. It'd only be like 2 gold.
That 2 gold? Son of a bitch. Alright, I will buy it because I do want to be able to track days. So I want to, on the calendar, mark down like where we are in the time frame and start marking days off so I can keep track of everything and be ready for my goddamn tournament.
Okay. Yeah, it is currently, you have the access to the symbol calendar thing. It is the 20th of Rabbit right now. I'll say in the course of this and your guys' visit with Philip and stuff, I'll say it is getting into like later evening at this point.
Okay.
What is Rose and Ray doing right now? By the way, do you guys just like find a bar to?
Oh, we got to the place she told us to go.
Oh, you literally went to the okay. You meet up with her there, and you have as many adventures as Rose and Ray are comfortable with. What would Eris and Riley like to do for evening lodgings?
I mean, I suppose walk around. I just look to Eris and go, well, I mean, I don't know how you feel about it, but I'm okay with sharing a room if you want to save some money.
Yeah, I was literally just gonna recommend that. What's I assume doing all the search and we found like a decent inn.
In the club district, you guys passed quite a few different inns of various repute. Also, you kind of have your choice. If you'd like to go to like a safer place, then it'll cost a little bit more. But there are much more like sort of scroungy, not terribly good like boarding houses as well.
Yeah, I'll go for the safe one. What are the prices there?
The safe one, the prices are a little bit higher than they were in Oakland. Not perhaps not terribly surprisingly. I'll say, but if you guys are only going for a single room with like two beds, that'd probably still only run you like 4 gold for a night.
4?
Yeah.
Oh, cool. Okay, sure.
She said, "Bitch, that's freeload. Come on now."
I mean, she's rich now, but if depending on how much time you guys spend and how much she's gonna spend on magical items here, we'll see how much money you have in a little bit.
By the way, to be clear, I was in the club. I would try to play at some point to earn money and stuff like that. I wasn't just like going there to hang out.
Okay. You can make a persuasion check with advantage.
Guidance.
Ray's very
This one
cute.
makes sense.
Probably not guidance.
Hey, advantage OP.
Yeah, the club that you go to, I'll say it's they're a little bit more comfortable with newer musicians. They do have a few people who play there. They invite you to join them as like part of the band, basically.
I'd try to overtake them.
Okay.
And
Make
be
a
the center.
performance check. You can make a performance check with advantage. Okay. Yeah. Towards the end of the night, they do have sort of a head singer, but you do kind of overtake them between you and Ray, who who would try to sing with you, obviously, using letting you sing through her mouth, so to speak. You do overtake them by the night, and I'll say with a 24, you gain a fairly significant audience, and you get the sense that people ask about you afterwards and like ask like where you're playing next and things like that.
Fucking go, baby. That's all I need.
You gain not like a ton of people, but like you are clearly like already making a bit of a reputation and a name for yourself, or at least the beginnings of one.
Okay.
Yeah. The following morning.
No tips.
Oh, I'll say you with a 24. I'll say you earn enough tips to basically pay for your night in a hotel room, presumably.
Nights and drinks comped, baby. Easy peasy.
Yeah, and you would get like meals and drinks, however much you'd like as well.
Nice.
Yeah. The following morning, what would you guys like to do?
As we wake up, I suppose is Eris an early riser? Or is like Riley's typically an early riser?
No. She'd probably get up at like 10 or 11.
Okay. I imagine I'd probably get up 8 or 9. I'll hang out in the room for like a half hour to an hour and start like poking Eris at some point. Be like, hey, Miss Eris, Miss Eris.
She like bats Riley's finger or hand away and goes, "What? What?"
I'm sorry. It's just getting late, and we should probably try to find Miss Rose. I mean, I assume she went to that place the lady was talking about, but
Getting late. What time is it?
I will look out at the sun. I don't know. I guess 9 a.m. ish.
Not you woke me up and oh my god.
Listen, I've been up an hour, okay? And frankly, I want to make sure that Miss Rose is okay.
Eris reluctantly like gets out of bed.
You see that Riley has just had his like full new game like opened and set up, and he's just been sitting there playing with it the whole time. It's like, look, listen, I was enjoying my time. I just worry about Miss Rose. Also, do you want to
Alright.
play a game? I already have it set up.
And she pats Riley on the head and goes, "Sweetie, we both know I wouldn't be good at that game."
It's we're both new, and it's fine. Okay, I'll go ahead and start packing it up back into its box.
Look at me. You know I don't have the patience to
I
play
do.
that.
I know, Miss Harris. It was worth a shot.
Okay, I'll say to speed things up a little bit here, you guys do rendezvous with Ray and Rose, having found them in the club that they had played in apparently the night before. It'll be kind of up to you guys. How much time would you like to spend in X City? And I know there are like specific things you want to do, like visit the black market and attempt to play more. And I do have scenes for both of those things, which we'll probably get to next time. But if we could make some decisions about how long you guys are wanting to spend in X City and what generally you're trying to do here. I want to kind of treat this as like downtime, basically.
Yeah.
Okay.
For you.
That is honestly up to you guys, because Eris just wants to buy nice shit, and that's literally up to them.
I can say for Riley, he definitely wants to wait to hear about Philip's trial.
How long? Like a week, did he say?
He said probably like a week or two until
week or
trial begins.
So I think Riley would be willing to wait. I mean, Riley wants to wait till the 15th, which he would say he would like to wait till at least that point. And if by the 15th he does his tournament and like he hasn't heard anything about Philip's trial, he would be willing to head out. Because he would assume it's kind of like his like the justice system back home, like it can be a while and you'd like never really know.
Okay. I will say, I mean, it will depend on how the interactions go, but Rose and Ray will probably be getting an opportunity that they'll want to stick around for at least a little bit longer. So I'll say maybe you guys have about a month to spend here. Does that sound reasonable to everyone?
Oh, okay. Yeah.
Yeah, sure.
I mean, that's the months here are only 20 days long, to be clear. It is a shorter month.
Oh, okay. Fair enough.
This was also where God, what were they called? Those thieves.
Yes.
Yes.
Shroud or whatever.
The
This
Piper
is where
Crawlers.
they are, right?
Yeah, the
Crawlers.
Piper Crawlers are the name of the group.
I'm just saying, I kind of hope we run into them. They sound kind of fun.
Yeah, but Shroud will just
consider-
one tap us, and it's like a whole.
Black market, we will definitely get some underworld stuff.
Some
Did you ever play Oblivion, Hudson?
Of course.
Is the Shroud based off of the Gray Fox?
That would be an interesting idea, but no.
Oh, sorry.
Gray Fox is very cool though.
From Rose and Ray, they probably just continue playing, as well as Nora put in the description. Yeah, what's that?
I'm more interested. So your intention is to like build up like a fan base here. That's what I'm getting.
I want to become an idol, correct?
Riley
We'll-
would
we'll-
like
we'll get
to.
that. Yeah, we'll get into that next time. You'll be doing, depending on how the scenes go, you will be doing a lot more than playing in clubs.
Noted. Also, from a meta perspective, whether I would find this out from an armory trying to get something for Ray, or whether Nora told me. I know my breastplate can hold one rune since it's in the description.
Correct.
So I would want to look for those as well.
Okay.
Alongside, yeah, like an armor for Ray or something.
Sure. I will say you're able to find those services. However, you are not in that price category right now. At least not for the moment. We'll see how much money you make over the course of the next month.
Yeah. I was just out of knowing where it is and how much it is to save up for it.
Sure. I'll double check the prices. It's in the hundreds of gold range, I believe, for the runes. And
Yeah.
that would be at the Arcane College as well. They provide that service. Yeah. Okay, I just want to get a sense of what you guys are interested in, what you're going to be doing for the next month or so.
So, yeah,
so
if-
we'll get into those specific scenes next week, and tonight we'll end a little bit early.
Okay.
Sounds good.
I'll say Riley will definitely help Rose out, but I don't know if we're starting next week, like how we'll handle those.
Sure, yeah, we'll figure it out next week. I just
Okay.
want to get us like I could prepare things and whatnot.
Gotcha. Fair enough.
Well-
Hey, nighty night, everyone.
Not tonight.
Good night.
See you guys later.
Deuces.
Gang. Du. All right, to chat. Riley Cowboy confirmed. Listen, I have a plan. So the key. All right, here's the plan. I go into I don't know if they'll let me, but if I can go into the black market with, if I can go in with Eris, then what I'm gonna do is I'm going to try to basically sell the information about the key and where it is if someone's willing to take it. The problem is I don't know if they would believe me being a child. I could also tell Eris where I hid and be like, hey, you should sell the information. But the problem is when we do it, I want to hide my like face and hair and probably do something like that. But anyway, that's what I want to do with the key. And if not, the key will just stay there and chill. But you know, as much as I wanted to keep the key, I knew just in case there's some kind of magic on it, because I don't have a great way of testing that. Excuse me. Then I'll just leave it here. Because even if they have like, I can't imagine they have fingerprints and stuff, but if they do, like they're not going to have Riley's fingerprints. And not only that, but we've already kind of been told that when it comes to Outworlders, I forget exactly how it works, but like it is like a different kind of magic. So I don't think they can like sense magic off of Riley, but anyway, we'll see. Good idea, but it will go south real quick. Oh yeah, no, there's ways for it to go bad. I might just leave the key there and pretend it like doesn't exist anymore. And like way later on, I'll address it. I have it written in my notes so I won't forget. It was too easy. It was too easy, man. I didn't want to do it, but I was like, Riley really wants to get Philip out, and if that's like his one way to get Philip out, I'm just saying he might do it because like he's wrongfully getting messed up right now. But no, yeah, there's tons of ways it can go bad. 100%. 100%. I'm fully aware. Trust me. I understand the trouble. That's the good thing is, like, for the most part, like, I can kind of just play dumb and be a kid and be like, bro, I'm not even, like, well, I'm stupid, but I'm a little kid, dude. I'm dumb. I'm dumb, stupid. But anywho, I guess it depends if the justice is there or not to claim that I'm not a kid. Listen, I'm a kid when I want to be, and a kid when not a kid when I don't want to be. It's very simple. It's truly an easy system to follow. Question, but how do one get out of clown jail? How does one get out of clown jail? What does this mean? Hold on. I know that Green made the bit about like banning you. Did he full ban you? Because that is hilarious if he did. Hold on, where is it? I know there was... Well, no, that wasn't you. Was it, Rex? Wasn't it someone else? Whatever. I don't even know how to answer this question. But anywho's or whatsers, yeah. So, as for kind of cool news, the grand finale of the tournament, a little leaky poo, because there will be like a video confirming this date later, is going to be not this Saturday, but the one after. That's the date I'm confirming because I've given players multiple days. I haven't had anyone say no. So that's the day. That is when we are doing it. Should be fun, people pog. That'll be very exciting. And in the video, definitely stick around because there is a bit of a like baby hidbit mini sort of announcement thing in that. Kind of, I don't know if it's necessarily an announcement, but it'll be some fun information for you to have. But nonetheless, I hope y'all enjoy. Or I hope y'all enjoyed. There will be no Friday, Saturday stream this week. I'm planning on once I finish the Naruto 5e League and I get all of that finished out, to actually start streaming more regularly, like at least one other day, at least Friday or Saturday, like one of those 2 days start streaming. So that should be fun. But yeah, nonetheless, look out for that good content, and I will see you all on the next one. Peace out, everybody.